All right. All right. Just adjusting a couple things, and we're going to get going. Just, and that. So I have both chats open. All right. Cool, cool, cool. We are good to go. Exciting stuff. Exciting times we live in right now. I'm going to... Oh, let's see here. I think I am missing YouTube chat, Twitch chat, YouTube alerts. I think everything's working. I could be wrong. It's possible that the YouTube chat isn't actually working. Let me just get crew. Oh, no, there it is. Cancel. You know, is that the alerts or the chat? I'm going to fix something right now in my stream. The YouTube chat's not working. So, I'm going to try to bring the YouTube chat back in. Because I see you guys talking, but it's not appearing in my stream. Aha, there we go. That's what I wanted right there. Twitch chat is over there. YouTube alerts. Twitch alerts. Alright, cool. We're good. Alright. Hey everyone, welcome to our live stream. We are doing the live Q&A early. Normally we do it on Fridays and or Saturday night. But we are doing it tonight because there's a little game launching this weekend called Super Mario Odyssey that, yeah, I'm going to be streaming. So before we get into the questions, we do have questions from Patreon first. As always, if you want to ensure your questions get answered every single week, become a patron. For as little as $1 a month, you can submit your questions every single week and guarantee that I answer them in the Q&A, regardless of how ridiculous the question even is. So we are we got an Odyssey stream tomorrow. So that's one thing I want to talk about. I am picking up a physical copy of the game at 11 p.m. Central. I should be back here a little bit before 11:30. Depends on how quickly I get out of the store. You know, it could be a holdup. There could be a ton of people because there's 3 games launching at the exact same time, and they're not like little games. We're talking about huge games launching at the same time. There's Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and I forget what the third big game is launching. But there's 3 big games launching, so there's going to be a ton of people at the launch. It's going to be very difficult to necessarily get in and out. I plan to show up early enough that I don't have to be like at the back of the line, but anyways. So I'm planning to have a live stream starting, a launch live stream starting around midnight my time, which will be about 1 hour after the game has launched worldwide. So you look forward to that. I'll try to get it up a half hour sooner than that if I can, again, depending on when I get out. But I'm going to have everything set up so I literally come home, pop the game in, and we just start playing together. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. And then I'm going to be live streaming again later on Friday, which is the technical release day of Mario. I don't know when yet. I will know better once I get to tomorrow's live stream because I have to plan out Friday ahead of time. Because it's going to be a day of not very much sleep. So, yeah, there's going to be the game I play Friday night's obviously going to be Mario, but I might play a bunch of Mario during the day live as well. Obviously, news stories will depend too. If there's a bunch of big news stories hitting on Friday, I'll have to stop streaming so I can cover those news stories. But one-man show here at Nintendo Prime. Anyways, let's get into the questions from this week from our patrons. I just had them up too, and of course I closed everything. So let me bring those back up. I see a lot of people already asking some questions, so I'll get to your questions in a bit. I have to answer our ones from our patrons first. For starters, I always want to thank anyone who's a patron backer, or if you even support us through super chats, or just subscribing, even not even a monetary support, or for free through gawkbox.com/Nintendo Prime. I know there's a couple people that support us through there as well. I appreciate all of it. You guys supporting us, even if you could just subscribe and share our content, enables me to do what I do here. So let's get into the questions from this week. We have some good ones. So the first one came from Splinter, one of our $3 Patreon backers, which means he gets access to our video log every single month. He says, what are some jobs you've had before running Zelda Informer? Any stories from your days as a programmer would also be great to hear. All right. I've had a lot of jobs. To know, I've been running Zelda websites for 18 years. Before Zelda Informer, it was Absolute Zelda. Before Absolute Zelda, it was Zelda Domain. But I wasn't paid for most of those 18 years, like maybe 2.5 years total. Maybe only 2 years total I was actually paid for, and that was while I was at Zelda Informer. So a majority of my time at Zelda Informer and before, it wasn't a job. I didn't make revenue from it. Nintendo Prime's a job because I do make revenue from it. So that's kind of the way I balance a hobby versus a job. Now, a hobby can become a job, but yeah, Nintendo Prime isn't just something I passionately care about and love doing. It is work. What I do here is work. And this is going to be important for another question coming up on from our next patron question. But some jobs I had before Zelda Informer. I got to think back, man. This is 8 years ago. 9 years ago now, man. How old was I then? I would have been 21, 22. Well, my very first job ever was Kmart. Started when I was 15. My next job, I think before I started Zelda Informer, I was working at the YMCA and Country Treasures. And Country Treasures, all you really need to know is it has a Hallmark, like half the store is the Hallmark store. So I worked mostly on the Hallmark store half. The Country Treasure side was like knickknacks and antique stuff. If you guys have any local antique kind of stores, that's what that kind of was. And then obviously Hallmark was attached to it. It was all called Country Treasures, but like literally half the store was your traditional Hallmark store. Lots of cards, lots of little gifts and stuff like that. So I worked there for a while, and then I worked at the YMCA. I went to college during some of this, dropped out of college a couple times. And then, let me see. Besides that, I worked at Gibson's Water Care for a little bit. That was fun. I like that job. It's a hard job. Oh, I also worked at a warehouse. I did some warehousing back then. And I worked at Walmart for like a month. I don't know if I count that. Yeah, I did a lot of stuff at Gibson's Water Care, taking care of water softeners and water neutralizers and all that stuff. Learned a lot there. It was a job. I really liked that job. But that was like right in the middle of the recession, so they eventually had to lay me off. They ended up laying off like most of the employees. The company's still around and they're still doing well. My uncle still works there. But after that, I started working at McDonald's, believe it or not. I took a year and a half off. That's when Zelda Informer started to make money. But then after all that was all over, I went to McDonald's. And I worked at McDonald's for about 2 to 3 years. I know I was past 2 years because I have my 2-year pin from McDonald's still. Because every year you're there, they give you like a pin. And I know I was approaching my 3-year pin when I left. And while I was at McDonald's, I met my fiance, and lots of stuff happened. The thing is, a lot of people say a lot of bad crap about, oh my god, a job at McDonald's, oh my god, minimum wage. Yeah, I was only making a little more than minimum wage by the end, but man, that job's not that bad, guys. I gotta give it actually makes me more critical of the teenagers that work there that are doing a crappy job at a job that's really not that hard to do. It can be harder at times than some people think, but it's not that bad. You're constantly entertained. You always have something to do. The time goes by really, really fast. It's not a bad job. It frustrates me when teenagers don't give a crap about the job because you're dealing with food and you could like poison people. Like there's people who are allergic to fish, and if you make like the nuggets in the fish fryer, and if you're a teenager and you just don't give a crap, you might have just killed someone who's allergic to fish. I don't know. It's in the food industry, so I didn't mind that job. I moved on from that. This is when I got the programming job. My dad hired me on. He was CTO of a company at the time. I'm not going to name the company or go into it. My dad doesn't work there anymore. And I got hired on as, Oh, I don't even remember what my title was. A junior technical assistant, I believe. I actually have it on my resume still, so I should just grab my resume and read off exactly what it was. But it was something like junior technical assistant. And my job was, you know, a lot of tech support, but also some programming stuff. Mostly on server side. I had to do some minor programming and minor troubleshooting. I have some programming experience. I went to college, still kind of sort of back and forth in college for a programming degree, because if people don't know, programming is like my backup. If Nintendo Prime ever crashes and burns and I can't make this work for me long haul, when I say work for me long haul, I mean like doing this every single day, Nintendo Prime is going to be around the rest of my life. I'm always going to be making videos, but like daily videos and 3 live streams a week and all this crazy stuff, that might not happen if Nintendo Prime doesn't continue to grow. Anyways, let's not worry about that, because we're a long ways away from me making that decision. But the programming degree I'm working on is because, you know, even though I have like some experience, they still want the degree. So yeah, I know a little bit of VB. I know a little bit of C++ and C#. And I know a ton about website stuff, and I just know a little. I know like I dabbled in a bunch of different stuff. So I knew enough to get by and handle some support issues. I also did some stuff. I worked at Geek Squad at one point, and I used that experience, you know, also with my dad, because like the whole company, like I kept track of all the laptops, and did all the setting up on those and the troubleshooting on those as well. I mean, I was a tech support guy, but some minor programming while I was there as well. I can't go too deep into what the company did. It was my first ever contract job, and the contract was pretty strict. Even when I left, there's a lot of like trade secrets and stuff that I'm not allowed to divulge to you guys. So I don't even like talking about that job too much. Beyond what, you know, if I'm going to get hired for a programming job, I'll talk about some stuff I did there. But yeah, I mean, I can't talk about everything, obviously. I can't give away trade secrets. Now, that kind of all led to, let's talk about that job. And I was talking about my dad was not, they laid me off 2 days before my first son was born. And what was upsetting about that is my dad didn't know. My dad was CTO, and he didn't know I was getting laid off. So I got laid off from that, and that was really, really depressing. I went into a pretty dark place during that, because I felt like a failure. Here I had a salary gig. I was making decent money, working hard, and suddenly it all got yanked out from under me when I was having my first biological child. That was tough. I mean, I'm sure my biological child appreciated me being there for his first 9 months of his life. I was kind of a stay-at-home parent in those 9 months, living off my savings. But after that, things kind of started to pick up a little bit at Zelda Informer, and I started making money again. And yeah, pretty much did like the Zelda Informer thing from that point forward. Then Nintendo Prime. I've had some oddball jobs. I worked at the YMCA again for 4 years. For the past 4 years. This is the first school year I have not worked in the last 4. So I worked the previous 4 school years part-time. So I always had that those $300 checks coming in every 2 weeks. Doing after-school care. So yeah, those are kind of all my jobs before I got paid at Zelda Informer, while I got paid at Zelda Informer, and then to today, where I'm still running Zelda Informer's Facebook page and putting all my time into Nintendo Prime. Now, let's move on to the next question. This one came from Taylor. I'm just going to say Taylor because I don't want to mispronounce your last name. On our Patreon. This is our only other Patreon question. Taylor said, your recent video about Polygon, good video, got me thinking about the media and how they cover video game coverage. Since getting a Switch, I'm more interested in gaming than I have been in years. One thing I've noticed is how various outlets all report on the same news. True story. It gets to a point where it just seems lazy. I'm going to address that soon. My question is, how do you try to keep things fresh and relevant on your end? I'd imagine it's hard to keep on top of certain stories and whatnot. How do you keep it fresh and interesting? Is it ever a drag knowing you're making a video about something tons of other channels are talking about? So it's kind of a loaded question. So first, let's talk about why you see websites covering the same news. The idea at a lot of these websites is they don't want you to go anywhere else. So like when you say, I see a lot of websites covering the same news, The idea is that their community is really inclusive. There's a lot of people that only go to Kotaku for gaming news, only go to Go Nintendo for Nintendo news, only go to IGN. So, like, if they didn't report on all of that same news, there's a large chunk of their audience that only relies on their websites that would not get that news. There's a large chunk of our audience that relies on us as, like, their only outlet for Nintendo news, and there's a ton of Nintendo news you're not going. Example, they just had an Animal Crossing Direct last night. You didn't get anything from me from that. So, if you wanted any news on that, we did put one post up on our website about it. But beyond that, any other additional news, like the fact it's out in Australia, that there's some APKs out there that are like legit downloads of the game you can get on like your iPhone and your Android, you're not going to hear any of that from me because it's just not something we covered. So, but that's why a lot of outlets cover a lot of the same stuff. It's not lazy. It's just they have an audience that relies on them to get that news to them. As someone who ran like a Zelda website and runs even NintendoPrime.net, like I recognize that if I want NintendoPrime.net to get to where it needs to be, a lot of what I'm saying on there and reporting on there is going to be like what Nintendo Everything and Go Nintendo, IGN, blah, blah, blah is also reported on. But there's more. And this is what I call like the Nintendo Prime difference. So how do I keep things fresh and relevant on my end? One thing I do on the YouTube videos, especially the YouTube videos, is I feel like people don't just come here just for the news. You guys in the comments can correct me. Maybe you do come to my channel just to get the news and you dip out. And if I look at just the timestamps, like how long people watch our videos, there definitely is a drop-off point after I'm done reporting the news. Because you guys know I start out with a little tiny preamble, and then bam, there's the news. And like 2-3 minutes in, you can basically dip out. Because after that, the news is done. There's no more... Whoops. Sorry, that probably just hurt your ears. After that, there's no more reporting. It's all opinion. So I think what helps keep it fresh and what helps keep it relevant, at least for YouTube purposes, is my personality and my opinions on the news. I like to think that's more like the backbone of what we do at Nintendo Prime, is people are coming to see what I have to say about a topic. Why they care about what I have to say, I can't tell you. Only you guys can answer that. I don't know why people care, but some do. And I like to think that that's the backbone of what we do. So that's how I keep it fresh and relevant. It's just my take on it is my take. No one can replace what I am saying. And then I'd imagine it's hard to keep on top of certain stories and whatnot. How do I keep it fresh and interesting? So take the Animal Crossing thing. I was planning to do a video on it last night. It didn't happen. And the reason it didn't happen is my girlfriend got sick. She got sick, pretty much like 15 minutes before the start of the Direct. So I had to miss, I didn't get to watch the Direct till like an hour after I got to making sure she was okay and she was comfortable and in bed. So for me, the hard part with that, how do I put this? The hard part with that is I felt like I missed the boat. If I feel like I missed the boat on the news, I'm just not going to report on it. Not on YouTube anyways. I'll still put it up on the website. But yeah, I don't feel like I need to cover something that I know a lot of other people on YouTube have covered. Because when you're on YouTube, a YouTube consumer generally doesn't rely on one channel for everything. I know that because I use YouTube and I don't rely on one channel for everything. I don't rely on just Game Explain to get me my Nintendo news. I don't rely on just myself or just any one website. So, yeah. So I guess I avoid topics that I don't think are worth having a news video about if I feel like our audience could have got that news video elsewhere. As for the last part, is it ever a drag knowing that making a video about something tons of other channels are talking about? Oh, man. Sometimes. I got to be honest, sometimes. What makes it usually a drag is me. I'll become aware of a news really before any other YouTuber has gotten a hold of it, right? And I'll be planning, I'll like be working on a video. I literally will be sitting here working on a video and trying to rush it out the door and be one of the first people up to have thoughts on it and have the report. And then all of a sudden my kids will need me, or my girlfriend will need me, or my mom will call, or something will happen. that delays me getting that out. And then all of a sudden, an hour later, I sit back down to finish it, and lo and behold, here's 7,000 YouTubers that already have something up about it when I could have been one of the first. And that's really demoralizing. And that's just the reality of the life I live. Because I work at home, there's not a lot of separation of home life and work life. So when home life intervenes and delays my work, that's more frustrating to me. Because there is like a speediness you want to get to when it comes to getting news out. You don't want to be last. You don't necessarily need to be first, but you don't want to be stuck in the middle either. Yeah. But again, my unique perspective sometimes make the news still relevant. Like when I reported on the Polygon situation, that had already been around for almost a full day. I decided to still report on it because, one, I found it highly entertaining, and two, while I've seen it on YouTube, I didn't see a lot of channels that I think also follow me really talking about it. So I thought it'd be worth bringing up as just something fun and lighthearted. And even though I think it's an example of a bad example for the gaming industry, it's still generally something I wanted to talk about. So a lot of that has to do is there something I want to talk about? Do I feel like you guys are going to, like it's going to be relevant to you? A lot of times when I'm thinking about, okay, I can cover this story, but is my audience going to care about that story? And if not, I will put that story on NintendoPrime.net instead of making a video. And then there's other things like I have to think up, tonight when I'm done with the live stream, I got to think up all our topics for our podcast we're recording tomorrow that goes up next week. I have to think about arguing with myself, a new series I'm launching. I got to think about, I have a lot of stuff recorded for it, but it's not done yet. And sometimes, that's how I break things up. Other times there's just discussion pieces I like to do. And I know I started a debate series or a conversation series as well. I'm going to get back to that. But I'm still, the next conversation piece I want to do, I'm kind of delaying because of Mario Odyssey. That being said, let's get to the comments. All right. I already see something I want to respond to, but let's get to the comments. I'm going to scroll back up and see what you guys did. Let me see. I'm ignoring, by the way, if you guys say any comments that are spoilers about Super Mario Odyssey, even if they're fake spoilers, I'm not going to mention them. Even though I know they've appeared on screen, I'm not going to talk about them. All right. Let me see. But yeah, any questions about things in Odyssey, even if I know them, I'm not answering any questions about what's in Odyssey. How long will I play Odyssey? 1 GB says. A long time. I don't know. I can't tell you. I haven't played it yet. So, the live stream tomorrow is going to be 2 to 3 hours, the launch stream. And then the stream will again be 2 to 3 hours the night, Friday night. And there's probably going to be a stream somewhere in the middle. I'm probably going to stream it 3 times on Friday. And yes, there's going to be spoilers in the stream because I don't know what's happening. It's a live stream of Mario Odyssey, so I hope people understand when they're like, oh yeah, there's spoilers. Of course there's spoilers. That's what happened when you're live streaming the game. Digital, Valor TV says digital or physical for Switch. I am getting Mario Odyssey physically. Speaking of physical, I got to give a shout out. A fan, I can't remember, I think it was, his name's Brian, sent me ARMS and 1-2 Switch physical copies. Thank you so much. I actually just used ARMS in footage for a video today, and I'm having a lot of fun. So you're going to see a lot more ARMS footage. 1-2 Switch, yeah, I'm going to get some footage of that too. I've owned 1-2 Switch at one point. I had to sell it for gas money. Any games you guys send me or buy for me, I think Mark Greenberg bought me Fire Emblem Warriors. I'm never selling those games. So if you ever worry that oh, he says he sells games sometimes, I sell games I pay for. If I need money, I will get rid of the games that I bought. I will not get rid of games you guys send me because I feel like that's just dumb. You guys didn't send me games for me to turn around and sell them for next to nothing just so I can have some gas in my car. Come on, that's ridiculous. But yeah. And my goal, this is it. I have 3 physical games now. I've got ARMS, 1-2 Switch, and Breath of the Wild. I want to collect every single physical game that's ever released on Switch. I'm not going to be able to afford it. So getting games like this really helps me get to my goal of owning every physical game. I know, long ways to go. But, hey, you got to start somewhere, right? Let's see. Next question. I should take some time to go to sleep. Don't worry. I have a nap scheduled for tomorrow because of the Odyssey launch. I'm prepared. I've been through this before. I did it with Breath of the Wild. And I've done it with other games in my past. So I'm ready. Let's see here. How old am I? I don't know if you were talking to me, but I'm 31. What if Blink Floof says what if Mario Odyssey is overhyped? Don't know. Can't like what if it is? I mean, the question isn't if it's overhyped. The question is, do you think it's overhyped? And I'm going to read this out loud just because it apparently is an apology. The Doctor 53 over on Twitch said, I'd like to apologize for a comment I made on the Mario Odyssey leak video. I didn't mean for it to come off the way it did. I probably haven't even read your comment yet. On top of that, I also wasn't fully educated on the topic. I like to surround myself in positive energy, and I wanted to guarantee you'd see my apology. Thanks for replying and correcting me, though. Well, maybe then I must have seen your comment. Anyways, Splash Related said, do I have a 3DS I can stream off of? Not anymore. I did. I sold it to a fan like a week or two ago because I needed money. And that money went to pay bills. So that's just the way it is. And the Dr. 53 says, I hope I'm liking Arms. I said it on Discord. I'll say it again. It's my favorite fighting game ever. I'm loving it so far. I played a lot of the test punch, so it feels good to get back in. Let's move on here. Back on YouTube, we got Tatsumi Kimishima. It's not the real one. It says, would you like to see my big, thick, long, meaty Joy-Con? Yeah, sure. I like big, thick, long, meaty Joy-Cons. I don't have big, thick, long, meaty Joy-Cons, so I would love to see what one of those are. And no, I did not sell it to 5J. He didn't have the money at the time. Let's see here. Just scrolling down here in the chat. I'm almost caught up to the beginning. As I said, I'm not answering any questions that deal with Odyssey spoilers, even if I know the answer. Okay, so Jonathan Milligan asks, if the 3DS has one more year left in it, I reckon Nintendo should give Zelda 2 the Samus Returns treatment as a final swan song for the system. Your thoughts? No. And it's not because I don't like Zelda 2. Zelda 2 was my favorite Zelda game until Breath of the Wild. So I'm going to say that I don't think there should be a final swan song for the 3DS. I think they should just let it die. I think the final swan song is Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. Every other system, they just let it die. So just let it die. If they're going to remake Zelda 2, even if it's just like new sprites and updated stuff, like in like Ocarina of Time 3D and Majora's Mask 3D, put it on Switch. There's not a single game coming out on Sun and Moon that wouldn't be better on Switch. Or a Sun and Moon on 3DS. That wouldn't be better on Switch. So at this point, they should just stop making 3DS games, in my opinion, after this year. I don't even think it should have a year left. I think it should have like months left. And the months end when Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon come out. I know that's kind of a cynical look, but I think it's time. 3DS, it had a good run. It's time to move to Switch. Especially now that they seem to have caught up with stock in North America. Yeah, a prime example. This guy said that I'm kind of salty that the Mario Party game's only going to 3DS. Like, yeah, like there's nothing coming out for 3DS right now. Even Metroid: Samus Returns that wouldn't have been better on Switch. Let's see. I didn't get any notification for this. I don't know what to tell you. That's what I can tell you. Sorry. I do notice that YouTube has an event scheduler now. So what I'm going to do for my live stream tomorrow, and probably on Friday, is I'm going to start scheduling events. And I think if you check you want to attend the event, that will give you the update when the event starts. So yeah, YouTube with notifications on live streams doesn't always pop up. There's a lot of YouTubers I try to watch their live streams, and I don't always get the notifications. And moving on beyond this, SUCC says, I'm going to just say, Sukami. He said, you lied to me. The podcast is nowhere to be seen. How did I lie to you? Part 1 of the podcast literally went up this morning. The entire audio podcast is now up on Podbean because I renewed Podbean today. And the entire audio podcast has been up on Patreon since Sunday, as promised to our Patreon backers, getting it early. So I didn't lie to you. The podcast is up, and it took longer than normal because it's a 3.5-hour podcast. Lots of video editing to do with that. But yeah, Wolf Den's on. I know you're one of the people who are really looking forward to Wolf Den. He's on it. Wolf Den even talked about the podcast during his live stream today, and he didn't even realize it was up, even though I pinged him on Twitter, like literally tagged him on my tweet about it on Twitter. So he should have known. He just didn't check his Twitter. So, let's see here. Am I playing a game tonight? No, Mark. We are doing the Q&A tonight because Odyssey, like all weekend long. Landon Legate. What's the first episode of Arguing with Yourself about? Not telling you. It'll be a surprise. I already have... Everything's recorded. Well, not everything. There's a couple of voiceover things I still need to record. But the actual footage and the audio for that footage, that's all done. I'm waiting on someone who's making a custom intro and some banner work. And basically some general... making it better. Appearance-wise. So... yeah, once that's done, I'm going to wrap up the editing on it, and the video will come together pretty quickly. I'm glancing over here. I'm going to glance over here at Twitch. I'm not ignoring you guys. I got 6 people watching on Twitch. Thank you guys for tuning in. Is there any chance of getting another 3DS in the future with a capture card? Splash-related said, sure, but I'm not going to do it. I owned that 3DS capture card for almost 2 years, and not once did I actually live stream with it. I'm clearly not going to use it. So, why do you want the 3DS to die? It's an amazing console. Also, homebrew. How can you hate on homebrew? I don't use homebrew. I don't believe in homebrew. I don't believe in modding. If you want to mod, get a PC. Sorry, I know it's going to upset some people, but I really don't care about homebrew on consoles. I don't use consoles for homebrew. You want, like, all the customization you want in the world, that's what PCs are for. Consoles are about being simple and reliable and sticking your game in and playing it. And plus, I already think I kind of explained also why I want 3DS to die, because there's not all games that they would just go to Switch would be better just by the fact that they're in HD. I'm 240p and 480 or whatever it is. I'm done. Like, I think it's 240p. Like, I'm done. I'm done with 240p. I've been done with it for a while, but because they fumbled the Wii U so much, the 3DS was still highly relevant for me. But now that Switch is relevant and getting a bunch of games, I really don't feel a desire to play a 3DS anymore. The Doctor 53 on Twitch says, I'd like to hear your opinion on Pokemon Switch. Do you think that it'll stick with the same formula so many people are getting sick of, or are they actually experimenting to create something unique? It's interesting you said that, because a lot of people think they did just that with Sun and Moon. They think they actually changed the game with Sun and Moon. Now, I can't talk about Sun and Moon in depth because I only played the demo. Didn't like the demo, so I didn't get the game. Yeah, it's... I'm interested. I'm going to be a little disappointed if basically if all they do with Pokemon Switch is basically just take a game they would have made for 3DS and just HD texture it and throw it on. Like, if it's just like bare bones Pokemon, it's Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon Plus, and they just HD it with the same perspective and just throw it on Switch, that would be a little disappointing to me. Some people might love that. Woo, games I love in HD, great. But I'm hoping that they take Pokemon to the next level. They talked about pushing the 3DS to its limits. If they want to push Switch to its limits, they're going to have to take Pokemon to a whole new level. What that level is, I don't know. I feel like any ideas I have for Pokemon are going to make a lot of people upset, because a lot of people have been playing Pokemon the last 20 years that love it. Or even, 20, I guess for me, like the last 12 years, because that's kind of when I stopped playing Pokemon. So, yeah, people are just going to be... they're not going to like what I want Pokemon to be. So instead of worrying about what I want it to be, I want to see what original ideas they have and if they can make me fall in love with it. I am going to pick up Pokemon on Switch. I am going to give it a shot because I've wanted like a console quality Pokemon game since I was a kid. So now that it's coming, I have to try it. Regardless of what I think about it before launch, I have to try it. And we'll see if it changes my mind. And the things I might be amazed by might be things that have been in Pokemon for years. But I wouldn't know because I didn't play those games. So it'll be new to me, right? What might be old news to someone is new news to somebody else. Splash later responded to my comment on the 3DS situation. He says, what do you mean mod on PC? PC can barely run a 3DS emulator at this point in time. Much easier to emulate directly on the console itself. I don't know if I made this. I obviously wasn't clear about this. I don't like emulation. Why would you emulate 3DS games? That means you're stealing. Buy the games. See? Can't tell I'm a little passionate about that. I don't believe in emulation. It's just stealing. All people are doing is stealing. So, nope, no thanks. And it's illegal. Unless you're dumping your own ROMs. It's completely illegal. And even then, Nintendo now has stuff in their user and their license agreements that say even like dumping for your own backup purposes is illegal now. So, all right. So when I say like mod on PC, I mean like customizing games. Like if you buy PC games or indie games, like you can customize them and it's completely legal. All right, let me go back over to the YouTube side of things here. How many Korok seeds have I found so far? Hardcore Alex asks. I don't know. I don't remember. 140, 150? Something like that. Long ways to go still. Nathan, N8TN, says, do you think Mario Odyssey will be one of the best games this year? Sure, it could be. It could be. The two review scores that have come out definitely suggest that it is, but we'll see. The review embargo is up at like, I don't even remember. It's like 10 a.m. tomorrow or something like that, 10 a.m. Central. So we're gonna see. The reviews are gonna come out and let me know if it is one of the best games this year or if it's just a really, really, really good game. Like, yeah. I mean, there's a lot. This year's had a lot of great games. So. But yeah, it could be. I mean, it could be one of the best games of all time. Who knows? Just don't know yet. It's too soon for me to give an opinion like that. But I'm hyped for it. I'm not literally building my life around the Mario Odyssey launch because I am not hyped for it. So, I mean, come on. I just bought this Mario controller that I did a video on the other day. I just got where is it? Oh, right, it's right in front of me. It's in front of me because I'm storing my games in it. But I didn't replace my Breath of the Wild Switch case with this one because I'm not hyped. Like this, I'm very hyped for this game, man. Let me see here. Please play 1-2 Switch and trash talk it the entire time. I would not trash talk it. I loved 1-2 Switch when I had it. It was one of my favorite games to play on Switch when I had it. It's a very, very, very fun party game. I played it with all the people when I used to work at the elementary school when I was doing after-school care through the YMCA. I played 1-2 Switch with all the kids there at the end of last school year, and it was a blast. And I played it with Eric, and it was a blast. Like, it's fun. I might even do a live stream one night where it's just playing 1-2 Switch all night. I'll probably add some caveat to it because I know some people don't like 1-2 Switch, like drunk 1-2 Switch, like every time you lose a game you have to take a shot or something. Come up with something like that. It's easy to turn everything into a drinking game. Maybe one time if they release Smash on on Switch, I might have to live stream Smash the drinking game, which yeah, that live stream might not last more than 20 minutes because I might be puking that quickly. Smash the drinking game is so much, it's fun. Let's see here. I'm gonna hop back over to Twitch. It's actually kind of refreshing. Both live chats are pretty active right now, even though Twitch, I think it's just 2 people. Splatulated over on Twitch says, do you play Nintendo games here? Or is there any chance of third-party titles like A Hat in Time? If it comes out on Switch, it's fair game. I've played third-party games. I play NBA 2K18 a lot. I've played indie games. I plan to own a Hat in Time, so I would probably play that on a live stream. I don't just play the big Nintendo games. Obviously, I'm hyped for those, but I play. I mean, I'm assuming you haven't watched all of my live streams. I play like everything. So yeah, plan to play third-party games. Plan to play indie games. It's just a matter of money, money, money. I can't afford everything. I literally want to own every game that ever releases on Switch. I want a 100% complete Switch library. I mean, forget, trying to collect every single physical game that releases. I want every game, but I don't have that kind of money. Ooh. Excuse me. I need a drink. No, I'm not drinking the soda because I want to, but the water I want to drink is not in there. That's going to upset me. I might have to go grab my water later because I don't want a soda, and it's going to dehydrate me, but we'll go with it for now. All right. I'll get to your question in a little bit. I'm going to go back to YouTube here. I'm not a completionist, but I'm on 100% Odyssey. I plan to 100% Odyssey. For those watching my playthrough of like the Breath of the Wild Master Mode, it's going to be very similar for Odyssey. I'm going to try to get all the moons in every world before I move on. I'm at least going to do that. We'll see. And I'm not going to know where any of the moons are. There's not like a guide. I mean, I could buy the guidebook. Maybe I will. I don't know. But I'm going to try to find them all on my own. It's going to be fun. Let's see here. Hardcore Alex says, favorite Fire Emblem character not in Warriors? I don't know all the characters that are in Warriors, so I couldn't tell you. In order for me to answer that, I need a complete character list for for Fire Emblem Warriors, and I don't have a complete character list for Fire Emblem Warriors right now. So yeah, couldn't tell you. Let's see here. The pre-download has got me so hyped. I'm waiting for someone to crack pre-downloads and like people can just start playing them right away. Do I think ARMS will grow back? You mean, do I think it's going to get more popular? We'll see. I don't know. I don't even know what the community's like now. I guess I'll find out now that I have it. I'm going to be playing online and stuff too. So we'll see. Maybe ARMS never stop. Maybe, well, one thing I like about Steam is like there's a public tracker for like how many people are playing a game online. I wish that Nintendo would implement that so you could see which communities are really thriving publicly. Maybe they don't because the communities aren't thriving publicly. But it would be cool if Nintendo just like took down that barrier and said, hey, look, we're going to let you know these are how many people are playing ARMS right now that are connected to the internet or something. Mr. Phalange, will I take on a Lionel before Odyssey comes out? I already have. No, I'm not going to count the one-shot disappear thing that I didn't know was going to happen with the ancient arrow I did in that one video. But if you stick around in that video all the way to the end, I take on a Lionel and I die. So a better question should be, will I beat a Lionel before Mario Odyssey comes out? Because I have died to Lionels before. Since I don't count the ancient arrow shot as a kill, I was told that, ancient arrow shot one-shots him. Like, it almost feels like it doesn't even one-shot it. It's almost like it just makes it vanish into a different dimension. Because you don't get any weapons, you don't get any drops. Yeah, unlike like shooting it at actual ancient tech. Yeah, the one-shot, one-kill thing, I don't even think it killed it. It just vanishes. Let's see here. I'm losing track of some stuff here. I'm going to hop back over to our Switch chat, our Twitch chat, Switch chat. Man, Switch should have live chat. Mac like the truck said, do I watch football? Sure do. American football, yes. I only watch soccer or football for the rest of the world, like during like the World Cup and stuff like that when the U.S. is in it. And then, so yeah, I'm a Green Bay Packer fan for American football. And am I watching many teams outside of the Bucks and B-ball? Some. I pay attention to certain teams. I've been really interested in what's going to happen in Philly and all the talent they have. Was watching the Pelicans a lot this year because there's all this debate over, is Giannis or Anthony Davis, like which one's the better player. So I decided to watch a little bit more of Anthony Davis. Then he got hurt the other night, so there's that. I watched the first game for the Lakers. with Lonzo Ball. He didn't play very well that game, but then he bounced back with a huge second game. I watch, basically, like when I'm done with this live stream and I'm done recording whatever I'm going to record for another video or something, I'll put on like a basketball game in the background. If I'm caught up on my shows, see, I watch a lot of shows. I'm almost caught up on all the shows I'm watching now. I just need to finish off Mindhunters before Stranger Things comes out, which is coming out like soon, season 2. But yeah, I watch all the teams inside the Bucks. Let me see. Would I play a game like Dark Souls? I sure would, Spotulated. Let's see. Spotulated also said, who do you like better, Banjo or Kazooie? And what's the best world in Banjo, Kazooie / Tooie? That's tough. My favorite character is probably Banjo. I always just like the bear. The favorite world, I don't know, man. Oh, I'm trying to even remember the names of the world. I have not played Banjo and Kazooie in probably 20 years. Which reminds me, I need to replay it. You know what? Let me replay the game, and I'll get back to that question some other day. Let me see. Spotulated also said, I'm sorry. The Doctor 53 said, what are your thoughts on the U.S. being beat by Trinidad and Tobago and not making it into the World Cup? I'm sad. The thing is, I don't know if the U.S. team just wasn't talented enough or if they just underperformed or if it was bad coaching. I don't know. I feel like we were good enough compared to those two teams that we should have won at least one of them and then got in. But we didn't. We didn't do what we needed to do to get it done. And that sucks. But hopefully this is like the kick in the balls U.S. soccer has kind of needed for a while on the men's side. We've been kind of cocky because we make it to every World Cup since '86, which is the year I was born. So I've never actually lived in a year where they didn't make it. But it's been needing an overhaul for a while, so I'm hoping that they figure it out. And Spotulated then says, what is your chair? It is a Maxnomic chair. This particular chair was $450, but it's the most comfortable office chair I've ever sat in my life. I could sit in it. I mean, I do sit in this thing like 12 hours a day. It's awesome. And why does 90% of the Twitch streams I view have one? Have one like this? I haven't seen a lot of chairs like this. I've seen like DX Racer, a lot of those. Some other stuff. This chair I got after watching some chair reviews. I think the one review I liked a lot was the one by Linus Tech Tips. So I bought this. As for why you see a lot of other channels with chairs like this or other brands, they're sponsored. Basically, the company sent them a chair to review it, and then they obviously use it because it's comfortable. Why wouldn't you keep using it? Or if they're not reviewing it, they send it to have the branding in all their videos. And obviously, the Maxnomic branding here is very obvious. So, all right, back over to YouTube. I know some of the YouTubers over there are probably like, oh my God, is he ever going to get to my question? Lots of people chatting on YouTube. Trying to get up to where I was. All right. What do you think of Microsoft saying single-player games are complicated? I don't have much to say. I think that's what Microsoft's going to say because they built their system on multiplayer games, not single-player. So I think it's complicated in so much as you have to really understand the market to make a single-player game. I think AAA studios and even first-party studios like Microsoft and Sony are in this conundrum with single-player games where they put a budget into the single-player games that they do into multiplayer games. So say you create Overwatch for $100 million, then you go and you create Wolfenstein: The New Colossus also for $100 million. The $100 million spent on Overwatch is going to have a much greater return than the $100 million spent on Wolfenstein: The New Colossus. So you could argue that you shouldn't spend that $100 million on Wolfenstein. You should spend it on another game like Overwatch. That's kind of the conundrum and why it's complicated. The easy answer, and the answer that the dev who left BioWare already gave, is you don't need to spend $100 million on single-player games. You can actually spend a smaller budget and make a ton of money on that. Nintendo is a company that's really great at doing that. They have small budgets on their single-player games, and then those games sell a ton of copies, and they make huge profits on that. So, yeah, it's complicated because it's a different mindset and different mindset, basically. A lot of companies are trying to make as much money as they can, and right now multiplayer games objectively make a hell of a lot more money than single-player games do because they keep players engaged for long periods of time. So, yeah, it's tough, but there's definitely still a market for single-player games. Clearly, single-player games sell like crazy, so it is complicated. It really is. From a financial perspective and investment perspective, it's complicated. So it doesn't bother me that Microsoft said that because it is. When you're trying to justify it, it really is complicated. You have to get it just right to maximize your revenue. So not everyone could tap into that Nintendo magic or that Bethesda magic because they make a lot of single-player games. Let me see. You're missing school for Odyssey? Cool. David Troutman, Zelda 2 was your favorite Zelda pre-Breath of the Wild? What? Yup. Crazy, right? It's not like I'm someone who has no Zelda experience. I've played every game. Let me see here. Grossly Incandescent Gaming said, I bought the Japan Amazon Mario code. Will it let me play the game early tomorrow? I don't know. Maybe? I'm not 100% sure. I don't know what time it actually releases in Japan. I would assume so. If you have a Japanese account set up on your thing and you bought it, you have to use it with your Japanese account, I think, if you're going to access it. Or you'll have to set up a Japanese account. I don't know. I would say if you set up a Japanese account and you use the code on the Japanese account, you'll be able to play it whenever it's available in Japan. And once you have it set up on that account, as we all know, you put a game on one account, it's available for all accounts. So that's why there are people that have like a Japanese account, this account, that account. The thing is, it is a universal account system. So like if you want to move your US account over to like a new platform in the future, you might not be able to also move your Japanese account to that same Switch. Like right now, you can only move one account to a new Switch. You can't move like all of your accounts to a new Switch. That's why I personally do not have a Japanese or any other account to buy games with, because I'm worried that I'm not going to be able to keep those games if I have to get a new Switch or something. Although I thought about setting up a Japanese one because there's some demos out there that are in Japan that I want to get, but life moves on, right? Zelda 2 is fun. I die a lot. Yeah, that's kind of the story in Zelda 2. Let's see. Yeah, Zelda 2: The Adventure of Link. Yep. There's only one Zelda 2, literally. It might be good, but better than Link to the Past? You betcha. A Link to the Past was actually originally a prequel. It was supposed to come before Zelda 1 and Zelda 2 in the timeline. Fun fact. So what's the point of life? That's your question, says Walkable Gamer. I don't know. That's a very deep-seated question. The point of life, I guess, is, at least to me, is to live it to the fullest. I'm not going to tell you to go believe in God. I'm not going to tell you to find a deeper meaning in faith. I'm not going to tell you any of that stuff. Not because I don't believe in some of it, but just because I don't think it answers the question. I've been a religious person my whole life, and I still can't answer this question. Because my church will say that, the point of life is to love and serve God and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, but, I mean, why do I have to live to do that? If my religion teaches me you die, you can go to heaven and blah, blah, blah. Like, why do I have to be alive to serve God? I could just be a spirit and serve God. So, I don't know. I mean, if you believe in, like, the afterlife, you could say that, the point of living is a test that you have to go through to be able to handle the afterlife. But honestly, I think just live life to the fullest and enjoy. Like these deep questions about, why are we here? How was the universe made? How could God, who made God? These kind of questions are very deep and don't have answers. So you can ask these deep questions all you want. Like, what's the point of life? I can't tell you. I think everybody has to come up with their own purpose in life. And right now, my purpose is to be a father, to raise my children to be good people, I hope, and to become strong individuals, and to make, my significant other as happy as I can possibly make her, and hopefully she makes me as happy as she can possibly make me, because we're going to be with each other hopefully for the rest of our lives, our living lives anyways. And obviously to enjoy, making content for you guys and entertaining you guys. That's kind of like my purpose in life, and that's my point in life, I think. You have to find your own. Could Metroid Prime 4 be a system seller? Nick Figure says, no. No shot. Metroid games, I love them. They're not big sellers. Metroid games do not move the needle when it comes to console sales. So they've never moved the needle in the past. They're not suddenly going to move the needle now. People who love Metroid games really, really love Metroid games, but it's actually a pretty small crowd comparatively to Nintendo's other franchises. Some statements here. I'm trying to skip to the questions. It's okay, Sukemi. That you didn't see it. It's not a big deal that you didn't see the podcast. Now you know. And the second part of the podcast will hopefully be going up tonight. I have it ready to upload. I just crunched it so it'll upload faster. So after I'm done with this live stream, I will be getting the second part of the podcast with Wolf Den up. It's another long one because this is a long podcast, 3.5 hour podcast, man. So these segments are long, but they're good. They're really, really good. Mark Greenberg says, what are you most looking forward to in Odyssey? Be specific. Man, for someone like me who's been avoiding Odyssey spoilers, I'm just going to stick with the thing I was most excited about when they had the reveal trailer. The thing I am looking forward to most is capturing a bullet bill. I can't explain to you why. I really, it's such a hard feeling. When I saw that capture ability, I think it was the reveal trailer of the bullet bill. And I've obviously seen the bullet bill in action since, in other trailers and other footage like from Treehouse and stuff. There's just something magical to me in that. Yes, you can capture a zillion other things, but a lot of those other things either didn't exist or, like, some people might be excited about capturing Goombas or whatever, but like a bullet bill, man. I don't know, just something about that, like being able to control a missile, limited time, you can fly. It's something that's really excited me since the very first time I saw it, and that's what I'm right now. I know it sounds weird, but that's what I'm looking forward to most, is just capturing a bullet bill. Not even the T-Rex. Like, I thought the T-Rex was crazy, but I think the T-Rex is going to ultimately be a bit disappointing. After seeing a little bit of the size of the world and how big the T-Rex is, I think the T-Rex is just going to be kind of a hype thing more so than a practical fun thing to do. It'll be cool to stop around for a little bit, and then that's probably it. Whereas Bullet Bill, I think, can be something used throughout the game with lots of clever puzzles and stuff. And literally, so I saw it, my mind was racing to the possibilities. So I'm really looking forward to just capturing a Bullet Bill, man. Let's see here. Will I be streaming Mario Odyssey? Yes, I'm making an event for it as well tonight. So hopefully, like, you can go follow the event. I hope. I'm going to tweet it out. I don't really know how events work on YouTube, but I'm going to make events and schedule things out for my Odyssey stuff. But yeah, we're doing a launch stream. I'm picking up a physical copy, and as soon as I get home, stream. Let's see here. I'm going to hug you with the modding. What? Oscar Gamesman says, do I think that Isles Delfino will be in Super Mario Sunshine? And how would you feel if it's true? You mean Super Mario Odyssey? Don't know. I've been avoiding spoilers. How would I feel if it's true? I mean, it's cool. I played Sunshine. It would be kind of a nice nod. I feel like this game's going to nod to a ton of prior Mario games. Nathan, do you think the new Pokemon game will be open world? I hope so. That's one of the things I want. There's some people that don't, so that's what I hope. I feel like Pokemon is a kind of game that works for open world, and I know there's some people that have open world fatigue, but come on, Nintendo doesn't have a ton of open world games, so you can't be fatigued with Nintendo games being open world. They got Zelda and I guess Xenoblade. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna move on back over to Twitch over here. Splatulated says, do I watch any anime? And any chance I saw the Ace Attorney anime? There's an Ace Attorney anime? So no, I haven't seen it. Okay, to be fair, I knew the Ace Attorney anime was a thing. Is it out? Is it like something I can watch right now? Is it like on Netflix or something? Because if so, I need to go watch it. I love anime, but it's one of those things that as I got older, it was basically I have time for gaming or time for anime. I don't have time for both, so I stuck with gaming. But I used to love anime. I probably still do love anime. I'm afraid, like I used to be really into One Piece, which has like 10,000 episodes. I'm afraid to watch an episode of One Piece now because it's going to make me want to watch all the episodes, and I don't know if I can even do that before I die. But yeah, I really like anime. I just don't. I'm so out of touch with it. It's been 15 years since I've had time to game and anime. So. One thing I am trying to get back into is comic books. I used to be really, really into comic books. I don't own them anymore. I needed money at one point, so I had to sell off my collection. But I would like to get back into comic books as well. In fact, I actually thought about... you guys let me know, what do you think about this? Okay, it's too soon. It's too soon, I know. But I want to launch a second channel on YouTube. The channel itself, I want it to be tech-based, but I want it to be kind of, maybe I can just call it nerdy tech or something. I don't know. But I want it to be a channel where I can talk about movies, about comics, and about, how do I put this? Movies, comics, and like technology. Like my PC over here, like going through different PC parts and reviewing them and talking about my opinions on things like news in the tech world. And through that, I'll be able to also talk about things with Microsoft and talk about things with Sony. Kind of a channel that does everything I'm interested in but Nintendo. I will keep making daily videos at Nintendo Prime. No matter what happens at the second channel, Nintendo Prime is not going to slow down. This would be in addition to. I don't know if any of you guys are even interested in a channel like that. You know, that's about me. The unique thing about it, there's other channels that are like this, but the unique thing about it is it's me. I'm not going to launch that channel anytime soon, but it could be something like a project in 2018 maybe. It's just been something I always have percolating because I have, like, I want to go to the new Star Wars movie and I want an avenue to talk about that. And I feel like if I had that kind of channel, I could. There's a lot of things going on with PC tech I really want to talk about. But I can't. Like, I have a Galaxy S8. I would love to talk about my experiences going from an iPhone 6S Plus to a Galaxy S8 Plus. You know, that's a really technical tech talk stuff that's not related to Nintendo. So if you guys are interested in a channel like that, let me know. It's actually something that I have been considering. And maybe I need to make a general video about it someday. Be like, hey, would you guys, like, overall be interested in me expanding to a second channel for that stuff? Anyways, let's get back to some more questions here. Let me see. Me VPack 2 over on Twitch says, do you think there's going to be a Super Mario 64 costume for Odyssey? Probably. I mean, they have costumes for like other games and other characters. I don't know why they went to, like, it's a game full of costumes. There's got to be. There's got to be. I bet you there'll be a costume from like almost every mainline Mario game. Spatulated says, would I play Pokemon Snap or Hey You Pikachu? Love Pokemon Snap, so yes, if they brought that back, I would play it. Wasn't a big fan of Hey You Pikachu, but you know what? If it's on Switch, I'll probably give it a chance. I won't buy it myself, but if someone else buys it for me, like gifts it to me, then maybe I'll try it out. Okay, let's, oh. You also had another question speculated. I wouldn't know. By the way, if you guys really want to get your questions in, like over on YouTube, if you're like frustrated I'm not getting your question, go over to twitch.tv/Nintendo Prime TV. There's less people chatting over there, so it's easier for me to get to their questions. So it says, Splashlight says, I wouldn't know where you would legally watch Ace Attorney anime. Maybe Crunchyroll or Anime Strike through Amazon. Maybe. I'd have to check. If Crunchyroll has it, that's legal. We'll see. I'll have to do some digging. Because I knew about that anime coming. I haven't obviously seen it, and if it's in Japanese only, I don't know. I'm one of those weird people with anime that I don't like hearing the Japanese voices. Just something about a language speaking to me I don't understand just makes me not want to watch. And I know that means there's a lot of good animes out there maybe I can't watch because I don't like subtitles. But all right, let me go back over to YouTube here. After I just told everyone, go over to Twitch. There's still not that many people talking on Twitch, so easier to get to your questions. Let's see. David Troutman, it's Metroid. If Wii U had an exclusive Metroid that was good, I'd have bought a Wii U, which by definition would make it a system seller. When people talk about system sellers, they're not talking about like specific individuals. They're talking about moving the needle. Your sale, or like the hundreds of other sales of Wii U that would have happened at the time, would not have moved the needle. Like if you look at the sales charts for Wii U, you wouldn't even know a new game came out. That's what I mean by not being a system seller. Yes, some people would buy the game. Obviously, there are people that buy Switch for certain indie games that come out. That doesn't make them system sellers overall, even if that was the game that convinced that individual to go. Let's see here. Just to kind of give you some general phrasing on what I think of system sellers and what that term means. Rammy House says, do you think we'll get Pokemon Switch and Metroid Prime 4 next year? So there's a rumor out there. I don't think we're getting Pokemon next year. There's a rumor out there, though, that there will be a direct early next year that is going to show off Metroid Prime 4. If that happens, Metroid Prime's coming next year. If that happens for Pokemon, then Pokemon's coming next year. I think Metroid probably, I don't know. We haven't seen either game, so I don't know. Pokemon, I don't think is coming because they're doing Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. They're not going to have the Switch game ready to go a year after that. It's going to take longer. So, Metroid, we'll see. I mean, we don't know how long this game's been in development for. They didn't want to show it off if they had anything to show when they announced it. So, again, a lot of unknowns right now. And the rumor is literally like a person on a forum, so it's not like legit. But yeah. So I would put my money on neither of them being next year, but if any of them, Metroid, just because it's been the longest between releases. Let's see here. Hey, someone over on Jin to Kick Ruiz over on over on Twitch. We actually have more people watch on Twitch ever since I said that. Any news about Final Fantasy 15 on Switch? Nothing. Again, another forum rumor out there that it's coming, but that's not really much of an update because that's kind of what I said last time, that it's coming. So, yeah, 2018 at some point is basically all I can tell you. Again, obviously things can change and can get canceled, but I'm a firm believer it's coming 2018. That's the update I got. Oh, hey, I just noticed too. Thank you so much, Jin Tok Rua's one, for subscribing to our Twitch channel. I really, really appreciate the support. Moving back over to YouTube for more questions. What are your thoughts on Donald Jones says, what are your thoughts on Capcom, and do you think Nintendo would buy them? I like Capcom overall. I don't actually think they're that bad of a company. They're not as great as they were in their heyday, but they are still pretty solid. I don't think Nintendo's going to buy them, though. I don't think Capcom's up for sale. So, if Capcom wants to sell, Nintendo would be interested. But I don't think Capcom wants to sell. I think they make more money right now as a multi-platform developer, and they're going to keep it that way. David Troutman. I'm not a kid. Is Pokemon a thing for adult gamers? The only people I ever see playing Pokemon are adults. Granted, they probably grew up on it, but I'm going to be buying it on Switch, and we'll see. We'll see what I think. Obviously, they always make the protagonist like a kid, but we'll see. Just because the protagonist is a kid. I don't know. Pokemon's one of those games, if you didn't grow up with it, it might be hard to get into. But I don't know. I think what would be good for you, David Troutman, maybe if you haven't played Pokemon or if you're wondering if it's for adults, I'm actually going to suggest another YouTube channel. Easy Allies did a series called Brandon Plays Pokemon. Brandon's a little older than I am. Maybe a lot older. Maybe he's 40 now. I can't remember. He had never played a Pokemon game. And that Brandon Plays Pokemon is a series of his experience playing through one of the very first Pokemon games. I can't remember if it was Red or Blue or Yellow. I'm not sure which one. But he played one of the original Pokemon games. For the first time, he had never played Pokemon. Big gamer. Plays lots of stuff. Been doing this his whole life. But never played Pokemon. Did it for his first time and had sat down with Kyle Bossman for different episodes to kind of chronicle his journey, his experiences, and his thoughts. And that'll let you know right there if Pokemon's for you. Brandon, now Pokemon is for him. He's getting Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. He is getting Pokemon on Switch. He's now a Pokemon fan, and he didn't play it till he was an adult. So I think that's a good series to go watch if you're interested to see if it's for you or not. Obviously, the best way to tell is play it. But obviously, for an adult that had not played it before, Pokemon was still highly entertaining to him. Let's see. I got another question over here on Twitch. Splash Related says, is this channel popular enough to get the voice actor of Mario to play Breath of the Wild on stream? Oh man, I can't believe I'm forgetting his name now. Charles Matinee. No. I mean, here's the thing. He seems to do anything. So I guess I could, out of nowhere, just contact him and see what he says. I don't know if I could get him to do it with Breath of the Wild. Maybe he'd do it with Mario Odyssey or something. But I could try contacting him. You know, he's got that contract with Nintendo, so I don't know how open he would probably be willing to do it. Would Nintendo, in his contract, let him do it? I don't know. Because he does a lot of media events, so it's kind of like, well, what's okay and what's not. I'm not sure. But I could definitely contact him and ask. He probably won't respond. He probably gets, asked by a zillion YouTubers. But let me see here. Katie says, at Nintendo Prime, violation of an EULA is a civil issue, not a criminal one. Okay, cool. I obviously don't know the laws of the EULA. I'm actually going to Google that quick. End user license agreement. Okay, that's what I thought it was. Yeah, I mean, it's a civil issue, not a criminal one. I get it. Civil issues go to court. Have lawsuits after them. It happens all the time, so I don't know. Call it whatever you want to call it. You can still go to court for it. Anyways. Isaiah Cruz says, hi, Nate. Hey. Getting to the next question. Nick figures the Switch will most likely not fail. But what do you think could potentially lead it to failure from this point? Oh, boy. This is an interesting question. I think Wolfden actually just did a video on this, why the Switch is going to fail. And he prefaced it by saying the Switch isn't going to fail. But he talked about why, what could lead the Switch to fail. Part of me wants to make a video on this. But the other part of me is like, but it feels like I'm copying Wolfden if I do that. Do I want to make a video or do I want to answer? I'll just give a quick answer. Third parties abandoned the Switch, which you could argue they still don't have full third-party support anyway. So the third parties that have abandoned ship, and Nintendo tries to keep the 3DS afloat or releases a 3DS successor. It's not going to fail, but I think those two things would lead to Nintendo making less games for it and there being less games overall. And if you have a lack of games, you kill momentum. Hope that makes sense. Really short and sweet answer to that. Jin2 Kick Ruiz 1 over on Twitch said, do you ever think Sonic will find the solution of a 3D Sonic game without relying on Rails? I don't know. Rails have kind of been, even in Rails are kind of a replacement for certain mechanics in the 2D Sonic games. So I don't know. That's a very good question. I honestly don't know. I don't mind the on-rail stuff. It doesn't bother me. So it's tough. It's tough. 3D Sonic's in a weird place. Eldgrimar Schedule, such a weird name, over on Twitch says, do I think Mario's going to sell well like Zelda? Of course. Mario Odyssey might even outsell Zelda. Mario is just a more popular franchise than Zelda is. So it also depends, though. If the reviews come out and it ends up not being 9.5 and above, and say the reviews come out and it drops into the 8s, it'll probably not sell as well. I think reviews can affect sales, both positively and negatively, but I think the reviews are going to be massively positive. It's going to be over a 9 easily overall, and it's going to outsell Zelda long haul. And there's more Switch units out in the wild now too, so like there's actually a bigger audience to try to sell to. Even though Breath of the Wild keeps selling, I think Odyssey will probably outsell Breath of the Wild. Mario is almost always sold the Zelda games. So, back over to YouTube here. You guys are talking to each other, which is great. You guys can keep talking to each other. Just catching up here. Look, I'm almost caught up to the beginning of it. Finally. Hey, look, listen. Talking about Twitch, any more news about oh yeah, I answered that one. That's why you went over to Twitch, to give me an answer. Hey Nate, who are you rooting for in the World Series? I guess the Astros, because they used to be in the Central Division with the Brewers. I don't know. I think Houston's a better story, but I don't mind. Like, I have no skin in the game for the World Series. If the Dodgers win, great. If the Astros win, great. They both have like super teams right now, and both deserve to win. So, I just hope it goes 7 games. I think 7-game series in finals and championship games are always exciting. Doesn't Call of Duty sell about 10 million each game now? Yep. Especially if you literally count sales across all platforms. Let's see. Nick Figures, how far do you think Metroid Prime 4 is in development? I think it started before this year. I'd say at this point it's probably 1.5 to 2 years in development, which is why it could potentially launch next year. But again, it's a brand new team making it. We don't know anything about that team, so we have no idea how big it is. Maybe it's been a side project for a while. We just don't know. I mean, we have so little information on it. It's hard to even. It's all a guess at this point. Like I said, 2 years, but I have no basis for that. It's my guess based on no information. Just, here's when they announced it and they gave us a logo. They literally could have started development that day. I mean, when they announced Smash Bros. For Wii U, they hadn't even started development yet. So it's like, you don't know. I mean, Alicio Blanco says, do you think we'll see a new F-Zero on the Switch? I hope so. I think the fact they released Mario Kart 8 Deluxe makes it really hard to release a Mario Kart 8-9 on the system, which means I think F-Zero and Wave Race, they kind of open the door to their old racing franchises that they haven't had around for a while. So I actually think there's a higher possibility than normal because of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe kind of being like this definitive best Mario Kart 8 ever. Or best Mario Kart game ever. Wonder why people ask for F-Zero. Will it even do well? It's not going to do as well as Mario Kart, no, obviously. But the old F-Zero games, they sold decent. Though I think Mario Odyssey will have DLC, yes. Yes. I think Nintendo's putting DLC in pretty much all of their major games. It'll be post-game DLC. They're not going to sell a season pass this time, clearly. But I think so. I think they're going to, like, next year, they'll announce some DLC next year. Maybe even announce at E3 or something, I don't know. Let me see. I'm almost caught up, so I'm going to keep going on YouTube till I catch up. Then I'll get over to some Twitch questions here. Nintendo Prime Talk Technology. Yes, Nate. Spread your wings. Go if needed. Sorry for the silence here. Do I believe in magic? Tail. Of course I believe in magic. Magic's always in the air. Your sources tell you that Metro Prime 4 will be a March release. That's not happening. All right. Ah, Carlos Correa. I'm not watching the game right now because I'm doing the live stream. Not even in the background. Now, if it was a Bucks game, I'd have it on in the background. But no, I don't. I'm purposely not having the World Series on in the background. I love watching baseball stuff, so I would get too caught up in it. All right, I'm gonna head on over to Twitch where we got some questions. I think. Well, yep, couple questions. Splash Related says, do you think it would ever be possible for a Mario Zelda crossover game? A Mario Zelda crossover game where Link would end up in the Mushroom Kingdom in Mario and Hyrule. You could argue that already happened in Mario Kart 8. There's a Hyrule track in there that Mario goes to, and then obviously Link goes to the Mushroom Kingdom. So that's already like a crossover. I know that's not what you mean. It's obviously possible. Nintendo could do it anytime they want. I think Zelda and Mario just don't fit together very well. Now you could argue that, oh, no one thought Mario and Rabbids would fit together, but like Mario and Rabbids are a lot closer in terms of like art direction and all that stuff than like Zelda and Mario. Like anime style versus goofy cartoon. It's just not like, it doesn't mix well. It works okay in Mario Kart, but I don't actually think that could happen. I don't know. I mean, it could. You can't put anything past Nintendo. Then Spatula says, hot dogs or Skittles? Is that a serious question? Skittles? Duh. What does my PC look like? I still haven't done the live stream where I'm going to clean it and dust it out. But I've done this before. I don't know how well. Before I move the camera, let me see how this looks in the stream. Let me get it up here. So obviously there's reflection. But like, there's my SSD, my Samsung Evo, something, 250 gig. It's not very big. Oh, wait, no, that's a 500. There is my MSI GTX 1070. There's my Corsair H1. I don't know my PC box. H100 or something, water cooler, with the 6700K processor in there. And I'm using the Asus Z170A. Again, because of reflections, it doesn't show up very well with this camera. But yeah, that's my custom built PC. Oh, and there's also a hard drive in there, like a spinning hard drive. No fancy like lights or anything yet. My next PC build I'm going to do. I'm planning to make a Threadripper build specifically for video editing, and whenever I do that, there's going to be RGB. Like, you don't buy like an almost $1,000 processor and not put some RGB and some cool stuff in there. So that's going to be a fun build because I've never actually put RGB in a build before. And I know it uses like fan headers and stuff, but it's just going to be fun. Might even buy RGB RAM because I'm tired of watching all these tech channels with RGB RAM and me just having plain Jane. Now granted, I have 16 gig sticks, which are not cheap, but yeah, I have 32 gigs of RAM in my system. DDR4 2600 megahertz. I can't remember what speed my RAM is. Do I think Skyrim on Switch, this comes from El Grimmer. Do you think Skyrim on Switch is going to have mods like Xbox, PlayStation 4, and PC? Nope. They already said it will not have mods. And I don't think Fallout 4 is going to go to Switch. I think they're done with Fallout 4. The Doctor, this is a fun one. What profession did you picture yourself taking as a kid? NBA All-Star, baby. I wanted to be an NBA player. Bad. Yes, you can get RGB RAM. Yep, you can get RGB RAM. So now when I build my Threadripper build, it's going to be some RGB. I'm going to put in like an extra $100 or $2 just so I can have RGB stuff. It's happening. I've always wanted like a really cool RGB build. Time to get one. All right, let's see what some people are saying on... any more questions here? If we're running out of questions here, then that'll probably be the end of the stream. Yeah, Acrolance. The only thing Mario and Rabbids had in common was their art style, and both had minigames. Mario Party. Any Rabbids game besides that, I don't think anything else. That's already a hell of a lot more in common than Zelda and Mario have. That's the thing. Like, that's a... Like, what you described is basically what Rabbids is. And they have, like, all that stuff Mario has done. So it's like, yeah, that mixes actually. Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is just masterful. Masterful stuff. The best Switch exclusive still. Even better than Fire Emblem Warriors. Probably until Odyssey comes out. You'd be tossing the ball like you flip your hat while dancing. Tossing? You don't toss a basketball. You pass a basketball. You shoot a basketball. You finger roll a basketball. You can spin a basketball. You can throw that basketball between your legs. There's no tossing. You don't toss. Sorry. I'm kind of a sports nut. It annoys me when people use terms to describe things that are not. You guys, we're all passionate about gaming. Some people use terms that annoy people, you know. Nothing against you guys. Elizabeth Bollinger says, "Oh, will you do a video with your children playing Odyssey?" You're bringing up that Prime Family series. Probably. Eventually. The Prime Family series is tough because my kids have to be available and not in school and not doing extracurricular activities. Ironically, they're not going to be in school on Friday, but I'm going to be busy. So I'm going to be playing Odyssey, not them. But yeah, I'll probably do a Prime Family, introduce my daughter to Mario Odyssey. Maybe even my son I might try. We'll see. He doesn't always do well with that kind of stuff. But we'll see. I'm sorry, I'm looking something up here. So for the person asked me if I am Comp TIA certified, since I don't even know what that is, no. But I'm actually just looking up to see if it's something I even have experience in. I've never taken any certification classes for computer stuff, so. Okay. So Comp, heck, maybe I could probably pass to get one of these certifications. So a Comp TIA certification is a starting point for a career in IT. The performance-based exams certify foundational IT skills across a variety of devices and operating systems. I could probably, if I took the test on this stuff, I probably could pass. Or come very, very close to passing. Like it says, study up, ace the exam, achieve more. I could probably ace that. I don't care to be certified, but I mean, I guess since it's a thing people probably care about, I probably could. Heading over to Switch or Twitch. Twitch, it rhymes, I keep getting it wrong. Splatulated says, how do you cable a PC for airflow? I paid someone to build mine because I didn't want to accidentally break a $500 plus part, not knowing what I was doing. But they didn't even try and cable the PC. By the way, it's called Cable Manage. They just made a ball of all the cables and called it good. The question is, where is that ball? If that ball of all the cables is like hidden in a bottom compartment, that's totally fine. If they just literally threw the power supply in there and all the cables and just like when you look at your PC, you just see cables everywhere, that's bad. A lot of it's going to depend on your case. I'd have to see what case you have. Some cases have things pre-installed in them to help you with cable management. But yeah, it's going to vary PC to PC. The case is what's really going to determine what you can do. So without knowing what case you have, it's hard for me to even give you suggestions for how to cable manage, especially for better airflow. When you say a ball like that, I'm assuming it's just a mess of wires in there. Like if you saw my PC, I'll even show you again. You'll see that it's for what you can see anyways. I know, bad reflection. But it's like you hardly see any cables. The cable, there's two cables that annoy me right now. There's the one that connects my pump because it has to run across my little heat spreader up there up to a slot on the motherboard. I don't like that. I feel like I could probably hide that a bit better, but it is what it is. And then this cable that comes up here through this slot for my GPU, it's actually causing my graphics card to lean a little bit. I don't like that. So I'm thinking of, this isn't better cable, like this is actually good cable management, but A better way for me to run it to help my graphics card is to actually run the cable coming from the top and pulling it up back towards the motherboard. And also, fun fact, if you have 2 plugs in your graphics card like I do, it's better to run 2 separate cables from your power supply to your graphics card than 1. I'm using 1. When I do some cleanup and a little live stream, probably showing off cleaning out this PC, I will probably do it then. I will probably install the new, the second power cord for my GPU to get better performance. And I'm sure I just made people throw up because I was holding that by hand, so it was really shaky, but it is what it is. So yeah, without knowing what case you have, send me pictures of your PC. Maybe that's a way I can kick off my tech channel is giving people advice on how to cable manage and like taking apart the hard thing with like making videos and live streaming is like I do all that from this PC. I don't have a second PC. That's why like when I have the Threadripper thing, I can like record and stream everything from here and build a new PC. Yeah. So, anyways, Spatula said, "Are you ready for Rocket League on the Switch? Ready for the salt?" Yeah, ready for Rocket League. I have not played Rocket League, so I'll probably end up with it. Mac Like a Truck says, with the Packers down, who wins the division? The Packers. The ball's in front of a fan. That's never good. That fan's basically useless if the ball's just in front of a fan. I can get you the PC part picker I put together with a friend before buying the PC and have a pic of the insides I uploaded to him. Sure, that'll work. That'll work. I can give you a little bit of advice. I mean, I'm not like the greatest cable management guy in the world, but yeah, I can give you some advice. Don't have to be the greatest at something to give advice. Just have to be better than what you have. Let's see what some people are saying over on YouTube here. Any questions? Well, I do. Oh yeah, I already answered the children question. Damn, someone needs a firefighter because someone got burned. Who got burned? Am I getting Mario Odyssey first day? Areas O2. Yeah, I'm literally going to an 11 p.m. launch tomorrow and then live streaming it. So. They have more than one test and certification. Yeah, the website I'm on, like that was just one of them. There was what is it? They said CompTIA A Plus, and then there's CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus. This is just one website that I looked up quick. Obviously, there's multiple things to get certified in. I have taken a networking class before, so maybe I could pass the networking one. I'm not sure. I could probably pass the CompTIA A Plus for sure. The security one, I don't know if I'd pass that without studying. But I could pass all those if I bothered to look up what I need to study. I'm sure none of it's beyond my skill set. Excuse me. You have an A plus through Job Corps. Nice. With cable management, zip ties, and labels. I don't label anything. Labels to me, it's funny because obviously my house, how everything is wired in my house into the power box. Power box. Why did I call it a power box? Anyways, that's all labeled. I don't label anything on the PC because the labels look tacky. Zip ties though, yeah. And obviously you can label things on the backside. But I don't need to label things. You should, there's not so many cords running that you shouldn't know what everything is in a PC. You'd have to have a pretty insane PC build to need to label. You really shouldn't need to label. But your computer is a beauty. Yeah, it's not bad. There's some things I would have did differently. But you know, I had the budget at the time. I needed it for video editing, so I'm like, you know what? Just do it. Yeah, it's not my ideal build, but it's what I could afford at the time. And it's a nice build. I mean, it's a nice computer. It's a computer that can play pretty much every game on Ultra at 1080p, several games on high settings at 4K. I mean, it's a nice computer. I need more storage. I do need to buy some more storage. I'm out of storage. I can't keep my raw footage at all. I literally right now, if I wanted to make a video quick and throw some gameplay on it, I have no video game gameplay anymore. I had to delete all of it. I'm so... For a YouTuber, I have no storage. I need lots and lots of storage. I only have 1.5 terabytes of storage. That's nothing. Nothing. It's pretty much all gone. I'm maxed out. I have to delete stuff every time I make a video. It sucks. So the one major thing I regret in the build is I didn't get like a 10 terabyte hard drive in there for storage. Before Mario Odyssey takes over my life. Yep. Am I doing this over YouTube and Twitch? Doing what over YouTube and Twitch? Area 02 says, have I had any problems with the Switch? And with me, the only problem is when people put the straps on wrong. So now my Joy-Con can slide off with a little force. Also, only the left side. Yeah, if you put the strap... I think it's almost a design flaw. Not the straps, but they use plastic tabs to connect your Joy-Cons to the Switch. I'll grab my Switch right now. I'm not live streaming a game, so I can grab it. All right. So, yeah, Switch, shut up. So, I don't know how well it's going to show up. Probably not very well because it's a webcam. But if you look... where's my... See if I can see it on my end. Get my OBS up here. So, if you look really close in there, if it'll focus, which it's not. There's like that little gray part. That's a plastic tab. I feel like if they would have just made that metal, it would have less issues than you're seeing now. But yeah, the common way to break that plastic tab is to put those straps on the wrong way. Now, I've never put the straps on the wrong way. So I've never had an issue. I never thought putting the straps on was complicated. I never thought taking the straps on and off was complicated. A lot of people that had issues with those straps didn't pay attention, in my opinion, or, yeah, they just didn't pay attention, I guess. It's always been easy for me. Have I had any problems with the Switch? Not for a long time. My Switch did crash playing Breath of the Wild like 4 months ago. Only once, and it hasn't happened since. My Switch is not bent. Before I first say that, let me do it on the back side here. Pretty sure my Switch isn't bent. I've done this test before. No, I have not had any left Joy-Con issues. These are special ordered because at the time it was hard to get the neon blues. I didn't want the neon red and blue. I just wanted the blues. So I bought the black edition. I actually don't own the black Joy-Cons again. Like my physical Switch games I used to own, sold them for money. I think sold those specifically for diapers. But I special ordered these at Walmart, and so these are like from the original Joy-Con run. Never had an issue with the left Joy-Con. So yeah, I really have. I've been pretty fortunate. Beyond that one crash, I have not had issues, and I've had a screen protector on this thing since day one. I had a plastic screen protector I bought day one just so I'd have one, and I ordered this glass one online. Now you can find some glass ones in stores, but I still buy them online because they're cheaper. In fact, I probably should get a new glass one just because on this one, when I initially put it on months ago, I screwed up on the corner and it lost some of its adhesive. So like it's technically not down on this corner, but I mean the screen part's fine. I'll probably get a new one eventually. It's one of those little things that like unless you're OCD, it's not going to bother you. I'm not, so it doesn't bother me. But I'll probably get a new screen protector on it someday. But yeah, I've never had an issue. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you'll have to email me the links, Splash related. Nathan at NintendoPrime.net. Email me the links to your stuff for your computer. You can't put links on Twitch. And then you said, why not buy some magnetic tape from IBM that has 360 terabytes of storage? Because I have no idea how to use magnetic tape, and I'm guessing it's slow. Like I need to access those files and use them. I don't know if I'd like using magnetic tape. That just does not sound like fun to me. Let me see here. Jose Munez says, since Nintendo stated that they want to continue the same release schedule as this year, what games do you think such expect to be released next year? I think a bunch of oddball games. think next year is going to be the year of Nintendo's other franchises. Things like an Animal Crossing, things like obviously Yoshi and Kirby, things like Fire Emblem, which we know for sure is coming. It's going to be the franchises that are not like, oh my god, everyone get hyped, like going to hype up the entire Nintendo fan base, but we're going to hype up little bits of the Nintendo fan base. I think they're going to have like 8 of those kind of games. And then a bunch of third-party games. I'm hoping there's just a ton of third parties next year. And that's how they're going to follow it up. A sarcastic Omar says, will I ever do an off-stream chat on Discord one day? Yeah, voice chat. We have chat rooms on our Discord. Maybe. I don't know. I've had this question asked a few times about off-stream chats, like after live streams or before live streams, or just randomly having them where I just get on and voice chat with you guys. Maybe someday. I don't know. Last time I tried anything like that at Zelda Informer, like some people weren't wearing headphones, and it was just really annoying, if I'm just being honest. I don't like to be annoyed. I work too hard to be annoyed. Over stuff that I can just not do and then not be annoyed. Let me see here. Grossly, my left Joy-Con keeps ghosting and will not point up all the way. I tried to recalibrate, but it does nothing. Send it into the Nintendo. It's still under warranty. I know it sucks, but send it into Nintendo. Get your Joy-Con looked at. Buy a replacement Joy-Con for now. Send the Joy-Con in, get it looked at. Or get a Pro Controller and play all your games with that for now. Yeah, when you're having issues like ghosting and stuff, just send it to Nintendo. It's not worth you trying to fix. Nintendo will literally just probably end up sending you a new Joy-Con anyways. So, yeah. Plus, before you send it in, make sure you test that Joy-Con with a friend's Switch and make sure it's not your Switch. Because if your Switch is having a hard time registering the Joy-Con and it's not an issue with the Joy-Con itself, then you'll have to send in your entire Switch to Nintendo. So, you've never been able to get your straps on and off since day one, easily. Oh, man. Okay. All right. I'm going to go grab my straps. They're actually out in my car, which this is how little I use the straps. They've been in my car for like months because my car is out of commission because it needs an entirely new exhaust system, and I can't afford that right now. But I'm going to go to my car. I'm going to grab my straps. I will be right back. I don't have any soothing music or anything to play, so you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to show you, because when people say that, I'm like, man, I got to show you how you do these straps. Let's see how rusty I am with the straps. All right. All right. Got my straps. See, knew exactly where they were. All right. Little quick tutorial. There is a video on this on Nintendo's channel. First, make sure the symbol, like that's a minus, I think, lines up with the symbol on your controller. So minus to minus. Now, these are reversible. So plus on one side, minus on the other. So just make sure minus to minus. Sorry, it's been a while since I've even put these on. Okay. had some gunk in mine, so that's always fun. So it's going to be extra hard to take mine off. All right. So, slide on. Like that. Oh, we better lock them. All right, locked in place, good to go. Playing sideways. Playing like this. Blah, 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 blah. All right, show you a tip. First off, this is Nintendo's method of doing it. Unlock the lock. All right, press the button in. Comes right off. Nice and simple. My method, slide it on, locked, blah, 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 play with it, unlock it, push the button in. I just slide up like this. If you looked at how I did that, see if I can reverse myself here. So if you look at how I did that, it's harder to do it this way for me, but I'll try to do it towards the camera. So basically, I hold firmly on this, and then I just slide up. Oh, that's actually not that hard. Now, it is notable that gets easier over time. But if you are struggling, the big thing is the angle. When you take these, the reason these slide so far off the Switch is the Switch is a lot more solid device. It's actually the exact, the strap and the Switch are using the exact same mechanism. So there's no difference in how it slides off. The difference is that there's more heft in the Switch, which makes it an easier thing to slide in and out of. Whereas on this, there's no heft, and that's what makes it harder. So there isn't really anything Nintendo could do. It's the mechanism. So again, Nintendo's method is grab the strap and pull it like that. But I prefer, again, I could do it without having to do that. I could do this all day, man. And again, the more times you do this, even if you think it's hard at first, just keep doing it over and over again, and it actually gets easier to take this thing on and off. And not necessarily easier in where it's not because it grinds it down. I think it's just because the rails on this aren't used as much as they are on the Switch. So it kind of helps grease up the rails. You could also put a little WD-40. That makes it easier too. But I never needed to do that. So again, not that hard. On and off all the time. You have to do it a ton in 1-2 Switch. So take them on and off. So yeah, not a big deal. Easy peasy. All right. Have you unlocked the lock on it? All right. I know this most likely won't happen, but what do you think will cause the Switch failure at this point? I answered that question already. I'll probably do a whole video on it, but I did answer. I gave a quick and dirty answer to that earlier. Let's see here. No, Dodgers just tied the game. What do you think about if devs want to make a game with multiplayer, they may not put too much effort into it, since there is no online service infrastructure until Nintendo's service arrives in 2018? This is a question I honestly have. Why would third parties care if Nintendo charges for online or not? Like when people say there's no online infrastructure, there's online multiplayer games on Switch right now. What infrastructure are we talking about? Are we talking about lobby systems? There's no guarantee we're getting that when we pay for it anyways. Nintendo has not shown us anything that we're paying for with the online service that's really any different than what we already have today. They have a lot of proving to do. So in terms of online functionality, there's nothing the Switch has right now that third parties can't make an online system for. We have third-party games like, Overcooked, multiplayer, online. Like, they already exist. I don't think there's anything holding that back. It just feels like it's missing basic functionality is the problem. That basic functionality doesn't really have any effect on third-party games, besides the lack of a universal achievement system. That's obviously something third parties would like to have. Actually, I remember one time my friend accidentally put the strap wrong on both. Oh my god. Seriously. Here's the thing. Here's what I don't get. Here's what I don't get with the straps. I never understood how people were putting it on wrong. Now, I never put it on wrong intentionally. Or maybe I did once. I might have did it once as an example in a video. Alright. To put this thing on wrong, would mean, you know, going minus to plus, or like, I guess the wrong way is like this. I'm not gonna do it, or at least I'm not gonna do it up to the thing. Like I'm not gonna push it past the point. That would be putting it on wrong. But here's why I always felt it's stupid. How do people do that? Okay, because I don't want to grind down that little plastic bit of mine. You have a strap. The point of the strap is to be on your wrist. So why would you be putting the strap on in a way where the strap is at the top of the controller going away from your hand? I know a bunch of people have done it, but how? What went through your mind when you grabbed this out of the switch box, which I actually have behind my monitor? When you took this out and you looked at it and said, this goes on like this, and then you slide it on upside down. How? What subconsciously went through your mind to say, hey, you know what? The strap should be facing away from me. That's why I really... Nintendo can't make things completely idiot-proof. It's impossible. But like, it was always obvious to me. So I don't know why people... Like, I can understand why a kid, like my son or my daughter, because they don't understand what those straps are for. I could see them doing it. But like, actual like teens and adults, it always baffled me. What went through their minds when they're putting the strap on that they're like, oh yeah, it goes on this way. Does my mic also double as a steering wheel? No. This is a pop filter. It's just a round pop filter, not a steering wheel. Doesn't work like that. My favorite Kirby copy ability. Man, that's a good question. I'm going to say lame-o and just go with the sword, but that's just because I can't remember. There's so many... It's just like Mario power-ups. There's so many of them, it's hard for me to think of just one. The Mario power-ups actually stick with me a little more than the copy abilities, but that's just because there's more Mario games, I think, so it's more ingrained in my brain, like, oh, Fireball, Tanuki Suit, blah, 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 blah. Whereas Kirby, not quite as many games, so I don't have all those copy abilities really ingrained in me. And plus, you get them confused with games like Smash Bros, which have like copy abilities that aren't available in the actual Kirby games, because he's copying out the other Nintendo characters. What could Metroid Prime 4 be about? Any ideas on what could make it different from the others? No. I think Metroid Prime 4, the point of it existing is just because the Metroid Prime series has been the most popular Metroid series ever, so they just want to make another one. I think that's it. I think it's just going to be more of the same, which isn't a bad thing. I think it's going to sell decent. I think it's going to move like 2 million units, which is good for a Metroid game. That's pretty average. So, yeah. I think their goal is to literally just do more of the same. Have a single-player first-person shooter puzzle action game. Do you think Nintendo will release a left Joy-Con with a D-pad, and would you buy this? Someday, I think they're going to release customized versions of Joy-Cons or let third parties create them. So I think they will probably someday because there's enough of demand for one. Or maybe they won't. I don't know. Because the whole reason that this isn't a D-pad is because it's supposed to be used as a separate controller. So they might never do that. I don't know. I personally don't care. I have a wireless Pro controller. I've got my wired Mario controller that has the best D-pad. I really don't care. I have other ways. I mean, I know when I'm on the go, I don't have that, but I don't mind playing indie games, like even 8-bit games or 16-bit games with the joystick. That doesn't bother me. I prefer to do that anyways. You can tell I don't know if you guys can see, look at that white grind in there. I always hate that about joysticks. They always grind. I don't know why. That hasn't been something that's like ever been solved. Why do we have to grind the joysticks against that edge so much? Why can't there be like it's literally a hard plastic. Why can't there be like a soft rubber bumper? Or maybe if not rubber because it'll stick, some sort of material that doesn't grind the stick down. Because basically, when you see that grind, I am limiting the lifespan of this controller because of that grind. I mean, it's not going to break anytime soon. It's a thick plastic, but still. I feel like they should have had that problem solved by now. But yet, I have that issue with all controllers. It hasn't happened with this controller yet. Well, I mean, you can already see a little bit of a groove line. So it's already... I've only played with this controller very little. But it's just a little groove line. Nothing major. Anyways, I don't know why all controllers have that problem. I should invent a fix to it, and then I'll be rich. All I can say is my friend is pretty dumb. I'm going to say dumb. I'm not going to say the word he said. Arcolan says, it's because the Joy-Con on the Switch. That way, when you put it on the other way of the strap, so it's not that dumb. It is dumb. I know. I have no idea why you would do that. I understand because that's the direction it goes on the Switch. But look at these things. What logic tells you that, because the Joy-Con slide on... Okay, well, let me do that and have the strap. Like, why would Nintendo design something with the strap away from you? That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't care which way it goes on the Switch. You're not putting it on the Switch. You're putting it on these. This makes no sense. This does. Plus, they gave you the plus and minus symbol. I mean, come on. They literally are giving you... They gave you all the instructions you needed just looking at the thing. Whatever. People do things. It happens. I'm glad it wasn't me. I could see my girlfriend probably doing it, to be honest. Let me see here. I don't know where to switch to or Twitch and see what's being said over here. Do you think Super Smash Bros. For Switch? I mean, do I think it's coming? Yeah, it's coming. It's happening. Well, they've never had like a system since N64 didn't have Smash, so for home consoles. So it's gonna have a Smash. I don't know if it's gonna be new. I don't know if it's gonna be a port. I don't care. It's gonna happen. Probably not next year. Maybe 2020 or 2019, I should say. I think they're gonna space it out better than they did with like Wii. So there's still like huge game releases coming out, you know, in the middle of and in the late generation of Switch, instead of just blowing their load in the first 2 years. I think they're going to spread things out more. Not like less releases. Like, they're going to keep a stream of releases, but, you know, like, they have Mario and Zelda this year. They might have Metroid and Fire Emblem next year. They could have Animal Crossing and Pokemon in 2019. Then they could have Smash and whatever, you know, maybe a new Zelda game by then in 2020. So, let's see. Didn't the main dev... So, Sakurai said he doesn't want to do Smash anymore. He said it for a while, and I think he's just kept making it because he was, like, best friends with Satoru Iwata. But now that he has sadly passed away, I'm pretty sure he's done. It literally hurt his physical health to make Smash games. So, I think he'd like to make something that isn't as intense on his hands. And just do something besides Smash. Every dev, like even EJ Aonuma wants to make a game, you know, that's not Zelda again someday. He started out not making Zelda games. He would like to get back to making something besides Zelda someday, and he probably will. Nintendo is pretty good at letting that happen with their in-house developers. You know, they don't say, oh, you have to work on this franchise forever. No, they just say you can't leave until you groom a replacement, and then once you have a replacement, you can move on and make something else. I'm sorry for saying you lied. I don't know. Please forgive me. I'm going to cry. What? You said I lied? Oh, about the podcast of Wolf Den? That's okay. You just didn't notice. You don't always get notifications. YouTube, you know, doesn't always get... Oh, a new follower. I just saw a new follower on Twitch. Funny, I saw it in the stream and not on my end. It's because I have my volume off. I can turn my volume on so I actually hear when people subscribe and stuff. Especially if we get like a super chat. We haven't had any super chats today, so... Have I ever had a control stick fall off because of that? Yes. Granted, it wasn't a first-party controller, but I had a Rock Candy, which they're not very good controllers, but I had a Rock Candy controller for Xbox One, and I was using it for like 2 years. And it was grinding and grinding and grinding. And then one day I'm playing Madden, and I go like this to kind of make like a manual spin move, and boop, it just snapped right off. And when you looked at it, the plastic was grinded down to like this little tiny, it was barely connected as is because the plastic grinded down. So yeah, And I assume there's people out there that play games way more. Like, I wasn't even playing games like crazy on Xbox when that happened. Now, that was a cheaper controller, but I can imagine even on controllers like this. I mean, I had it happen on the N64 too. Although the N64, before the controller stick itself would grind out, usually whatever, you know, you guys have seen this N64s where the sticks get really loose. Whatever plastic material is underneath would grind out first. So, I don't know. That was just a bad designed stick. Hey, a new subscriber and a new follower. Nice. Oh, by the way, guys, check us out at patreon.com/Nintendo Prime. I mentioned it briefly a while back. I'll mention it again. You know, go there, check out what we have going on for our Patreon backers. They get some exclusive stuff. They get, like, that podcast that you were looking for all week. Like, it's been up there, the full podcast, since Sunday. I mean, kind of an advantage there, being a Patreon backer. Let me see here. Switch is at 7%. Not my Switch. You know, we need a new franchise for Nintendo. You mean like this new franchise? Oh. I mean, literally, they just had a new franchise hit this year. I don't expect them to do that every year. That'd be crazy. You know, maybe, you know, again. Apparently, they're making a new IP in 2018, according to Switchforce. Is that a new video by Switchforce? Is that a new video by Switchforce? I do not remember them saying that, but I have not watched any of their videos this week. So I'm going to check out Switchforce quick. Just see if they have a video recently. Yeah, I don't see any recent videos on it. Maybe they mentioned it in a live stream or one of their comment forces or something. And I'd be interested to know, like, what's their source. Because people can always say, like, something's going to happen. Doesn't mean that they actually know. He broke the straps. Okay. I saw some leaked costumes in Mario Odyssey. I won't spoil them, but they are good. Yeah, I mean, the game's out there. So, invent a fix. Are you a part of the Fourth Edge? I don't even know what the Fourth Edge is. So, no. I love when people bring up, like, these things, and I have no idea what they are. It's okay. It's good to be educated. Sometimes I get holed into my little corner of the internet and forget there's more going on out there. React to the video by Switchforce. It was a video. Well, I don't see... It might have been from a while ago, maybe. I don't know. Oh, Nintendo promises new Switch IP are coming in. Hold on. This is a news report. Let me see if he's actually... I think I know what story he's talking about. Okay, he's sourcing Go Nintendo. Okay, I think I read this, and I think he's reading the comment wrong. But let me double check. So, Famitsu, do you think there are Nintendo Switch users who worry about next year's software lineup, given that it's just out 2017, Nintendo releases hit titles featuring Zelda and Mario, as well as games featuring Boom IP such as Splatoon? Koizumi said Nintendo still has many IPs at its disposal. Not only can our customers expect Nintendo's traditional IP, but even new IP that people would have never dreamed of. We're working and preparing our new IP, which players can expect to see in 2018, 2019, and the future. We are making some... Okay. I mean, I guess I read that as more like reviving IP. I know that's not what he said. So I don't know. That's interesting. I might have to make a video on that. I'm going to keep my thoughts to myself on that one. That might be what I cap today with. Or start tomorrow. I mean, they're just interpreting what's being said. I'm going to have to find another place that translated it to make sure. Because sometimes things, like, this is a case where, like, one word can change the entire meaning of this. So I'm going to see if there's some other translations out there. But yeah. I'll have to look more into that, and so I can talk about it. It's a Switch Force inside joke. Well, there you go. So I don't watch a ton of Switch Force. I know who they are. I just don't watch their stuff. Oh, he broke the lock on the straps. The lock isn't on the straps. The lock is on the Joy-Cons. Like, all the lock is doing is, if you look at the strap itself, there's this little metal notch. It's just going into that notch. The lock itself is on the Joy-Con. There is no lock on the strap. Unless you meant like this strap, this lock back here. He could break this lock. I mean, you can break this lock all you want. The lock is basically there for added security, but this lock's irrelevant. I forget when I do use it to even lock that. If that's the lock he broke, no one cares about that. That's not the problem with why it gets jammed. This lock's irrelevant to getting jammed. You can jam these on there and get stuck with or without this lock. So that lock's really got nothing to do with it. If that's what you're talking about. Doesn't mean he didn't break it, just it's really got nothing to do with anything. Okay, so grossly incandescent gaming. I mean, the Switch has a 3.0 USB on the back of the dock. I would imagine that outlet is meant for something that needs to be read at a faster rate than USB 2.0. It's called an internet dongle. That USB back there is literally for an internet dongle. It literally should not even have that USB. That USB back there should be removed and replaced with an Ethernet port. That's why it's a 3.0. 3.0 makes a big difference when you're using USB Ethernet. It is massively faster than 2.0. So, yeah, that's why. It's 3.0 back there because they plan for people to use the Ethernet dongle instead of just giving us an Ethernet port. But, yeah, that's why it's 3.0. Little fun tech fact for you. And, yes, I've used USB Ethernet dongles before on, like, laptops and stuff, so I know that 3.0 makes a big difference. I once dropped my Switch while playing, and the Joy-Con popped right off, so now I don't have to hold the back of the button to take it off. Yeah? It's because you broke it. It's plastic. It's easy to break. You broke the plastic thing, so it doesn't actually lock on it, which is actually, that means if that happens to your other Joy-Con, you can go like this, whoosh, and your Switch will just fall to the floor. Yeah. Or, like, even if you're like this and you lean forward or something, it could potentially slide off. I'm so glad I have not broke the locks on mine. I basically don't take my Joy-Cons off. I do need to get a second set of Joy-Cons again. So, basically, I want another set of Joy-Cons so I never have to take these off. Then I don't have to worry about it. I mean, I might take these off and replace them with a different color or new custom case on them or something. I don't want to be mean, but you repeat yourself a lot in your videos. Yep, I sure do. That's who I am. I repeat myself a lot in everything in life. Every conversation I've ever been in, I repeat myself. It's kind of who I am. Kind of sucks, I know, for some people, but that's me. Like, I just stuttered there for a second. That. I mean, just kind of who I am. Can't help it sometimes. All right, Isaiah Cruz, go to bed, man. 4 hours past your bedtime. Don't do that. See you tomorrow. Mario Odyssey launch, baby. Irrelevant? Are you Rice Gum? No, I'm not Rice Gum. Sorry. When I said, like, there's no lock on the strap except for that lock on the strap. Yeah, that lock's just so irrelevant. I mean, it's not irrelevant. Admittedly, when I was playing Just Dance 2017 once, that lock probably saved my Joy-Con from hitting my TV. But, and that strap. I mean, the lock maybe, the strap might have, I don't know. I don't even know if that lock really helps. An upcoming external device that would enhance the Switch dock. Nope, 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 nope. When you're talking about the potential of an external device that would enhance the Switch, you're talking about a new dock. That can be done. There are laptops and tablets and stuff that already do this, have like external GPUs and all that stuff. You need this port. You see this port, this USB-C port, you need something at least that fast to take advantage of something like that. You would not do that with a USB Type A port or USB 2.0, 3.0. Those are not the ports. They are not fast enough. They are just not fast enough to make a difference. You would actually cripple the Switch if you tried to hook up like an extra processor or a GPU through a USB 3.0 port. You want to use the USB-C port, which would mean it would be a new dock. Like people have talked about in the past, will there be a 4K dock? Like that's what they're talking about. Replacing the dock since it plugs directly into here and providing extra GPU power. CPU power, even still through this, would be a little slow. But GPU power has been proven to work through USB C, Type C, and Thunderbolt, ports like that are really, really fast. I wish the Joy-Con had the same joysticks as the 3DS. Thank God it doesn't. I hated the joysticks in the 3DS. Crampy, hurt my hands, no thanks. I love these Joy-Cons, even though they're like small, like I love them. I love them. They're good. I mean, are they as good as this? Of course they're not, but they're good. I like these so much better than 3DS. So much better. I just tried messing around with background music. I have tried messing around with background music. Found nothing I like that fits my style of videos. I'm sure there's a song out there somewhere, but I haven't found anything. Like I like my ending music now. I use for the credits or to like advertise other stuff. I like the music I used in the Mario Odyssey giveaway. Although I mean it's Mario Odyssey music, so duh. But yeah, stuff like that doesn't always work. There's not really a universal thing that works in every video. Maybe if I, make a second, channel that's a tech channel. I know there's some music out there that works really well for talking about tech. But talking about Nintendo and goofy stuff and ranting and raving, there's not a lot of music that really fits that very well. There's a lot of sound effects, but I don't like using sound effects. So, opinions on AC Pocket Camp. Oh my gosh, why did it take so long for people to bring up the new Animal Crossing game? I think it's brilliant. Haven't played it yet. I do have the APK for it. I tried to install it on my phone. In fact, watch, I'll try to install it right now. I have it right here. Where is it? I'm having an issue. Maybe one of you guys can explain it to me. So there's Pocket Camp. I hit install. Oh, it's installing now. Okay, well, I guess I'm going to be playing AC Pocket Camp. And this is like, the APK is literally the game. It's not like I'm stealing it. I'm just playing the Australian version of the game on my phone. And apparently, I was told when the North American version comes out, I'll be able to play it like I won't have to reinstall the game or lose anything. I just have to change my location in my profile. So yeah, there it is. Like it's launching right now. Wow. Lucky that it wasn't working earlier. So, see select country. Let's see if that shows up. I know it's bright. See select country, Australia. So there you go. I have the game. I guess I can give more thoughts on it once I play it. I'm just gonna. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna. You hear that music? Animal Crossing's back, baby. Free to start Leaf tickets. Yep. So. Yeah, I'll have to play that later. I'll have more thoughts on it now that I have the game. Funny, the install wasn't working before, so now that I have the game, I'm going to reserve my thoughts until I play it. Unfortunately, do any of you guys know a software program that lets me record my phone directly to my computer? I think there's an ability to record my screen as I play, but yeah, let me know. I've never actually recorded a phone game before, so. You recommend chill. What's happening? Bye, Teenager 8. Thanks for stopping by. What are some RPGs I want on Switch? All of them. I mean, it's hard because I want every game on Switch. Well, I get bored after 10 minutes. A lot of my videos only last 10 minutes, unless it's a podcast. Around 10 minutes. Should Nintendo make a more powerful Switch for the next-gen console? Yeah, I want a more powerful Switch. I think Switch can last for a couple generations. Let's put it that way. Beep, 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 I'm a sheep. The song is in Just Dance 2018. Is it? Beep, beep, I'm a sheep. Oh, God. I kind of want Just Dance 2018. I can't afford it. Again, money. I basically, I have enough money to get Odyssey and maybe Doom. But, yeah. So many games coming out I want. Just Dance 2018 is one of them. I have 2017. I need to upgrade. I think your thumbnails look too cluttered. Man, you... Sugemi, you come to a Q&A just to criticize. I think your thumbnails look too cluttered when you put both your username and logo in the thumbnail. I think your thumbnails were at their peak when you put your logo on the thumbnail. Yeah, I didn't like the logo because... the logo only works if you have a brand. So, like, when people see that little Bomb guy, they don't instantly associate it with Nintendo Prime unless you follow Nintendo Prime. I had thought about just doing the Game Explain thing. Drop the bomb, just say Nintendo Prime across the top. But I think that's kind of lame. I want to emphasize that the bomb is part of what Nintendo Prime is. So someday I can go back to using some logos that just have a bomb. But I think we're still too small. We're too small of a channel to be like, hey, new people finding our channel, they're going to instantly know that bomb equals Nintendo Prime when that bomb just looks like a bomb, a blue bomb. Like, no, it's not. We're not big enough yet. Once we're big enough that people like know that's Nintendo Prime, all right. Jump Up Superstar should be a song on Just Dance. How do you think Pocket Camp will integrate with Animal Crossing on the Switch? I'm not going to say because right now I want to believe there's an Animal Crossing coming to Switch, but I wanted to believe there was an Animal Crossing coming to Wii U. So I'm not going to even speculate until they actually give us an Animal Crossing on Switch. Play Darude Sandstorm. Dude, I can't play Darude Sandstorm in the background. Not only is that not chill music, that is copyrighted. So. Streams on YouTube Gaming look, yeah, that isn't that weird. Like most of you guys are not watching the stream on gaming.youtube. But if you were watching it on gaming.youtube, I don't know why, but our stream looks better. It's like a higher bitrate or something. I don't know. I don't know why they do that. It's really weird. But like people usually don't like the look of it, so I want to dress up as a Nintendo Prime bomb for Halloween. Yes, that would be sick. That would be sick. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but that would be sick. Look up AZ screen recorder for the phone. That will let you record gameplay to your phone, but the memory that you have on your computer is going to be a problem. Why would the memory on my computer be a problem? If I can record the gameplay to my phone, why can't I just take it off my phone and put it on my computer and then edit from there? I don't know why the memory on my computer is going to be a problem. I mean, if I can just record on my phone, it's fine. I'll free enough space on my phone. So AZ screen recorder. I'm going to forget. So I'm just going to go to the Google Play Store right now. That Animal Crossing music, baby. You guys know what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay up late tonight playing some damn Animal Crossing. AZ screen recorder. More info. It's been downloaded a lot. No time limit. Tons of features for free. Cool. That looks like exactly what I want. You can crop. You can... Yeah, that's awesome. Cool. Well, I'm going to install that and I'll play around with that. It's cool. Cool. The Dodgers lost? No. Mikel Casanova. Hey, how's it going, man? Came through for the stream and enjoying it. Showing love from Honolulu, Hawaii. Oh, I wish I was in Hawaii. I don't know if I'd want to live there, but I always wanted to go on a vacation there. Everyone hated the game. I don't know why people hated the game. It looks good. I mean, it's not a full Animal Crossing game, but I mean, was it ever going to be? Like, if they're going to release a full Animal Crossing game on Switch, it doesn't make sense to also release it on phones. It looks like an Animal Crossing game, just like a side dish. Like, it's everything an Animal Crossing game is, but like a smaller pocket version of it. It's like Animal Crossing Pocket Edition, basically. I don't know what's wrong with that. I think it looks good, to be honest. Yeah. I'm serious, guys. If you're watching on YouTube, if you switch over to gaming.youtube, here, in fact, I will give you the link because it's right here in my back end here. At least it was. I'm trying to remember where that link is. Right here, YouTube Gaming. If you guys go to this link I'm putting in the chat, the stream literally looks better. I don't know what YouTube is doing. It's like voodoo magic. Also, if you go to gaming.youtube.com, if you go to just the normal one without the live part, if you get rid of the live at the end, and you just go to our YouTube channel through gaming.youtube, that's where you will also find the ability to subscribe to our channel. Isn't that nice? It's hidden away in gaming.youtube. You can't actually put it on your normal YouTube. It's crazy. I don't even remember what my channel looks like in gaming.youtube. So I'm actually going to go to gaming.youtube myself right now. And just the channel. I'm not going to go live. I don't need like 4 different live streams of my of myself up. But it is a higher quality. Huh. And even look at that. If you just go to gaming.youtube.com /C/Nintendo Prime YT, you'll see my live stream right there at the top. That's awesome. It's better for live streams. I don't get it. Look, it's even got a thing for past live streams. Now, obviously, if they're hidden. I mean, gaming.youtube's gotten a little better. A little better than what it used to be. I wonder, yeah. Yeah, these have all my lives, and that's why they're mostly Zelda. Huh, interesting. It's actually got an easier navigation for switching between our movie types, too. That's really interesting. I wonder what this looks like on mobile. I haven't used gaming.youtube on mobile. Anyways. Oh, yeah. The hard drive space. I'll just have to delete some stuff to put the video on there. I have to do it for every video I make anyways. It's something I always deal with until I can get some more storage. I could see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know. I could see like 8, 9, 10. Although in gaming.youtube, in fact, I'm going to load up the gaming.youtube thing. I'm going to get away from my live dashboard. My dashboard's whatever. I don't need my dashboard. Something I always deal with until I can get some mute myself on there. Oh my gosh! Look at that live chat. Look at that sexy live chat. Look at that quality of that video. It is putting holy crud. All right, I think I'm gonna have to start promoting. My channel is gaming.youtube.com /C/Nintendo Prime YT. This is a vastly superior live stream. Look at that clear sponsor link. You want to sponsor us. It's right there on the live stream. Look at that. Look at that money symbol right there. I'm going to click on it. I'm going to sponsor myself. Can I sponsor myself? It'd be funny if I could sponsor myself. I can sponsor myself. I don't know if I have $5 in my bank, but we'll find out. Can I sponsor myself? Nope. Card declined. That's sad. Let's try my other card. I don't remember what my CVC code is on my card. I gotta do it down here. I don't want you guys seeing CVC code. Can I sponsor myself? I don't think I have money in any of my banks right now. Not even $5. That's how poor I am. I can't even sponsor myself because I'm poor. Nope. Card declined. Cool, but the sponsor's right there. That's awesome. I don't know if anyone's ever sponsored us. I might have to start advertising this like this. I didn't even put out the stream on Twitch or Twitter and YouTube or Facebook today. But yeah, that chat's way bigger. This is even better than the back end. Roman Goss, thank you for following on Twitch. You can't pay me enough money to go to Hawaii. 10 people are live on Splatoon, 8 live on Breath of the Wild. Yeah, YouTube Gaming's got a cool way. Like, if you want to follow live streamers, like, YouTube Gaming's the quickest way to find, like, people streaming specific games. Oh, is there really a link that says watch on YouTube Gaming? No, there you go. That'll work too. I have no idea because I usually don't watch my thing. I usually watch through, I have a back end, and it's funny. My live back end to manage this all is not as good as gaming.youtube. Like, the gaming.youtube stream I'm watching right now is better quality than my back end live stream. That's just nuts. And the chat's better too. Won't you lose money because YouTube... yeah. If I sponsor myself, I technically would lose some money because YouTube takes some. It is true. I just want to have a sponsor. I don't have a sponsor. I don't think our channel has any sponsors. I got to start it. Like, if I sponsor myself, will other people sponsor me? Or does it just make me... like, does it just mean I like to throw away money? Not that I have money, obviously, to throw away. Got rejected by 2 different cards for $5. Soggy Potato. Your Potato _ Soggy on Twitch. That makes sense. Too hot for me. I have another reason why go to there. Okay. The Switch equal this live stream. PC gaming equal YouTube live gaming.youtube live stream. I want every Nintendo console to be a hybrid from now on. I love it right now. We'll see if I grow out of it over the years. I have $3 to my name. $3 more than I have. I do have the Odyssey money set aside. I can't touch the Odyssey money for the giveaway. I have that money ready to go, but I'm not touching that. Cool. Well, I'm gonna end it right there. It's almost midnight on my end, and I got some other stuff I got to do. Thanks for tuning in to the weekly Q&A. Again, I will see you guys tomorrow night playing Super Mario Odyssey. Who knows? Maybe I'll see a whole bunch of people. It could be one of the most popular streams we ever do. We'll see. We'll see if we can beat out our previous peak viewership of like 42 viewers. We'll see if we can beat that out on YouTube. And see if we can beat out our peak of 23 on Twitch. That would be amazing. Super Mario Odyssey. Tomorrow night, it's happening. I will see you guys then. Thanks for tuning in to the Nintendo Prime Live Q&A. I am Nathaniel Alpha from Nintendo Prime. Be sure to subscribe to our channel if you're not subscribed. If you're not subscribed, I don't know why you're watching our live streams, because you wouldn't have had a notification of our live streams. But if you discovered us today through a live stream, awesome. Like, subscribe. It's been great. If you'd like to support us, you can sponsor us through YouTube. You can do super chats while this thing is still going on. Like Katie. Holy crud, Katie. Literally, I mentioned super chats, and your super chat pops up, but you didn't say anything. Well, thank you for your support, Katie. Holy crud. $10. That's awesome. No message with it, but thank you. Thank you so much. See? Again, that's another way you can support us with Super Chats. Sponsor us on YouTube. Go to patreon.com/NintendoPrime. Subscribe to one of our tiers over there. You can also go to twitch.tv/NintendoPrimeTV. Look at that. Katie donated $10 for Super Chat. Just popped up on my end. That's just awesome. Enjoy your Meowth jumping around. Awesome. I can't believe I literally was just talking about Super Chat and the Super Chat popped up as soon as I was talking about it. It's like I'm psychic. Katie, you were reading my mind when I said, hey, you can support us with a Super Chat, and then it pops up. Do I want to try chatting on Discord? No. I have work to do. See, that's another thing. When I get off these chats, I'm either going to bed or I have work to do. Oops. Oh no, Katie. Did you not mean to give that money? Wait, stop, Nate. Why am I stopping? What's up? What am I waiting for, Soggy Potato? Sarcastic gamer. What am I waiting for? I don't get it. What's going on? Someone want to explain to me why I'm waiting? Haha, my $800 goal. Oh, fun. I'll explain in a moment. That's a fair question. I don't know what to do. Okay, let me step back here a bit. The $800 goal was through donations, right? It was through Streamlabs, I think. I still have that there. The money hasn't gone anywhere. It's sitting on Streamlabs. It's weird because a lot of people would think like giving the super chats or sponsoring or something would go towards funding that donation, but it doesn't. When you super chat or when you sponsor us, the money actually goes through our normal YouTube ad revenue. So that $10 you gave me, that goes to my YouTube ad revenue. It's all ran through there. It's actually better for me if you donated through the Streamlabs link because I get like 90% of that money. But I couldn't get it to auto update. So every time I wanted to update the donation, I had to remake the donation goal and manually add in whatever the current donation amount is, which was $45 at the time I stopped advertising it. That upsets me. I don't know why it's happening. I need to contact Streamlabs. Once I get a hold of them and they could sort out why the heck my donation widget was not automatically updating, because that's the thing. What's the point of me throwing up a donation goal and then you donate and it doesn't appear and it doesn't update? That's not good. I don't like that. So hopefully I don't need to switch to a different donation widget. There are other options out there. I hope I don't have to do that, but we'll see. I'm going to get a hold of Streamlabs and try to figure that out, because the $800 goal is still there. I want cameras and microphones. I do. And that's what I liked about that donation goal, is it was literally just for new camera and microphones. That money's not for anything else. So I need to bring it back. I watch your content daily while doing software development. Oh, nice. That's awesome, Katie. I'm glad you enjoy our content while you're doing some work and stuff. That's awesome. So I work on a system that stores, compares, and reacts to changes in numbers to make the internet work better. Okay. That's awesome. So we'll see if I can get, you know what, for the Odyssey stream, I'll probably work a little bit tomorrow and see if I can get the donation thing to work. Hopefully I'll have a little money so I can donate to myself, because I'll have to donate. I'll have to have people donate to me or me donate to myself to see if the widget's working properly. But all right, cool. Now I'm really done. It's been fun, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Super Mario Odyssey. Otherwise, enjoy some other videos. I have obviously other videos coming out tomorrow. So catch you guys in